Hello? Hello, welcome in everybody. You can say hi too, Natsu. Say hi.
Oh, hi! I was waiting. I was like, oh,
Welcome in.
you have to do the introduction first, you
No,
know.
not really. I like to hang out. I like to just jump right in. Say hi.
Ooh, okay. Hi, everybody, hi!
Welcome. So for those of you who are new here, welcome to my archives. For those of you who are returning, hi, welcome back. Hi, Ami. Today we have a beautiful and lovely guest with us joining me in my archives.
Oh my god.
Second time being here, but your first time being here as you are now.
Right. Yes, I did appear as a giant silhouette and question mark.
Yes.
If you were there that day in chat, let us know. Were you there?
I appreciate it.
You better have been there. It was a birthday celebration. It's so important.
So since a lot of you, hi, Kaden. Since a lot of you are new here, I'll introduce myself to you. My name is Storyteller. You can call me Oracle or Miss Teller. Both work fine. I am an archivist and lore keeper sent from the stars. I am your astral deity of lore keeping, and these are my archives where I keep all kinds of different lore and information throughout the ages. Welcome in.
Smart and beautiful. Gosh.
It's a little bit of a mess. I hope you don't mind.
It's like organized chaos. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I bet you know where every book is here.
I don't. I know where the BL section is.
Well, at least you can get lost in all of the books.
Yes,
stuff.
you can. Yes, you can. And then for the people who are unfamiliar for who Natsu is, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi. My name is Natsu Kashii. I am a nostalgic retro beach babe VTuber. And I love playing retro games. I love retro old school anime and all that stuff. So yeah, I just debuted like a week or so ago. So I'm kind of fresh, but I am stranded on a deserted island right now. So like the fact that we were able to get together and make this happen is like just proof of Storyteller's amazing abilities.
I'm slowly starting to get my abilities back.
Right.
But the archives here is in a nebulous space, neither in the material plane or in the celestial. We are in I don't know, I guess you can equate it to purgatory. We are in the in-between right now.
Oh shit, am I dead?
No, you'll be fine. But yeah, I was able to pull her from the nebulous plane of mortal existence into my beautiful realm here.
I appreciate it because like the air is so like crisp here. Like sometimes it can get super hot on the island, so you know I'm not like constantly in the shade. I'm trying to cool down. I'll go for a swim or something. But like the temperature is great in here.
I'm so glad.
Real refreshing. Yeah, a nice little change.
Two beautiful ladies on the screen. Yeah, I'm
oh
looking
my
at
god. Oh, Kurisu. Hello.
Two beautiful girls on Natsu. Yeah.
We have big personalities here.
Some great personalities.
Some really big personalities.
So first of all, before anything, are we drinking today?
I really wanted to. I would like you to have a drink for sure.
I do.
I was gonna get a little tropical something, but I just have some water. I'm gonna behave myself right now.
Okay.
Water's
I'm
still
looking at
technically a
four
drink.
kind of personalities here. I have I wanted to have something a little more fun, but I ran out of my alkies that I did have. So I just stole some of my my roommate's tequila, and I have some ginger ale.
Hell yeah, roommate.
So that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd kill for a mojito right now, but I
my god,
I
would.
Could make it happen.
I fucking love like mojitos or mules. I love something with like a ginger
Moscow
or
mule.
lime.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
So usually And with permission from all my guests, they allow me to chronicle their stories into my archives. So we'll first discuss Natsu's origin, just for a little bit. Because you come from a little more humble origins than I do.
Yes. just a bit.
Just a tad.
Just a bit. I'm kind of a plain Jane. Just a regular gal, you know? But so I'm a human. I'm a human. I feel like I have to start with that because there's so many like just amazing people and creatures and species and all kinds of VTubers out there. So I'm a human. I was born.
I was born.
My birthday is June 21st. So I am I'm Cancer is my zodiac sign. And so I just I had a pretty normal life. I'm the youngest of 3 siblings, so I got 2 older siblings. And as I was growing up, I just through them I was introduced to all different kinds of like video games and old anime and stuff like that. And I was really fortunate because since I had 2 older siblings, I was able to play older like game consoles and things that they had. So I basically like grew up with like, you know, the best, the greatest in retro gaming. So I was exposed to a lot of things that were kind of quote unquote before my time through them. And of course the things that came out when I was growing up, I got to play those too. So yes, Amora says, imagine being born.
Couldn't be me.
Sorry, I'm probably the weirdest guest here because I was just born. Too normal. I'm normal in that sense. Let me clarify. No, it's true. Define normal.
Yes, of course. Very much.
Yeah, so I fell in love with all of these old games and old stories and things like that that were told, and you know, just anime and different graphic novels and things like that. And when I was younger, I had so much more time, right?
Oh my god!
So much more time on my hands. I was able to do all of those things, fall in love with all of these things, and just really like, I don't know, just really enjoy myself. And of course, as you get older. And I'm older. I'm 30-somethings. You'll never know exactly what 30 number I am. It's a mystery.
You're just perpetually 30.
Yes, for sure. So as I got older, you know, I had to be an adult, right? So I studied hard, and I had to go into the working world. So basically, I worked my butt off. So I got a really good job, but I worked a lot, okay? Like holidays, weekends, late nights, overnights, like 50, 60-hour work weeks, you know? It just like, and I did that for years and years. So it kind of like just ate away at me. And I just like, I remember like looking back and I was like, oh man, I was just like longing for like that stress-free time in my life when I could just like
cosmic horror corporate life.
Right? So it was just like, you know, I wanted to be able to like relax without feeling guilty about it. And I'm sure a lot of people go through that right now. And I just remembered, like, you know, when I was younger, I would just like do whatever I wanted without a care in the world. I'd play my games. I'd be up till 3 a.m, you know.
Oh my god, yeah, the dream.
And I would just be like, I made time, you know, for myself and for the things that I love to do. So as I was working, I was like, could I ever get a piece of that back? How do this can't be it, right? So I had a particularly rough day at work, and then on my way home, I saw it. I saw a poster in a window. It came to me like a vision on my way home from work, and it was an escape. It was an ad for the Bahamas. It was like, now's your time, take your chance, you know, you have to go to paradise. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. But here's the thing, I I worked so hard and so long, and that's all I knew. I've actually never been on a vacation before, ever. So I was like, you know what? Now this is it. I'm going to just go on vacation. I'm gonna have a nice like fancy drink. I'm gonna go to the Bahamas. I'm gonna have a good time. But the problem is, because I've never been on vacation before, I didn't really know what to pack. So I packed everything, you know, like literally everything. I was like, okay, CRTs, got it. My consoles, cartridges, yep. Retro anime, yep. My VHS tapes,
the essentials.
yep. My laser discs, get my cassettes, get them all. So I got all my things because I'm like, you know what? I'm finally gonna be on vacation, and now I'll finally have time to play all of these things again, and I'm making time for those things. So I was like, well, I'll just like pack everything, you know, if I wasn't sure what to bring, I just brought it because it was better to have it and not need it, you know, than to need it and not have it. So I was like, all right, let's just pack everything. But of course, that was a lot of luggage. I had a lot of bags, had a lot of suitcases, you know, had a lot to bring, and I sort of missed the boat to the Bahamas. So there I was, like at the edge. I was on the dock, and that boat that I was supposed to be on to go to the Bahamas for my first vacation was just already. It was already on the waves that left without me. So I was kind of like crushed. Like my hopes and dreams were on that ship. But then I was like, you know what? No, nothing's coming between me and this trip of a lifetime. So I was gonna make it happen no matter what. And I think that was like pretty obvious to the people around me because some really friendly stranger, this really nice guy, he offered me a ride to the Bahamas on his private boat. So I was super, super lucky. So I got in the boat, and he was pretty quiet after like I agreed to pay the amount he requested, but like it was cool because I was going to the Bahamas.
Because you had Bahamas money. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I was like, all those like late night shifts, all those overtime hours, you know, I was like, you know what? Fine. Here, take whatever. Just get me there. Get me to the Bahamas. It's gonna be good. Nothing else mattered. So like I couldn't put a price limit on this once in a lifetime experience. I mean, it was my first vacation ever, you know?
Right.
So, but yeah, what a nice guy who offered to take me. So I made it to the Bahamas.
I'm so proud
but
of you.
like, at least I thought it was the Bahamas. So it was so weird. There was no one else there. There was no one else on the island. So the guy that took me, the gentleman, he was in a hurry to leave once I paid him, and his boat like sped off, and he left me alone on the island before I could really process what just happened. I may have been scammed, but you know what? I'm still on vacation, so I was like, you know what? This island is beautiful and it's peaceful, and I can finally relax. It was my own personal paradise. So here I am. I'm stranded on some deserted island. I'm pretty sure I'm in the Bermuda Triangle, which has surprisingly good Wi-Fi. I like to tell people that. If you ever end up stranded here, it's like,
pretty
good.
Shit, the connection's great. He took you on your own private beach. How nice.
Right, for real. So, yeah, but so I'm not worried. Like it can get a little lonely sometimes, but not anymore because, you know, I debuted and I met so many nice people, and I have everyone here that I'm hanging out with. So like, I'm alone here, but I don't feel alone. And you know, and I'm not worried because like I packed all the essentials, right? I literally packed my whole life
there.
with me. Right. So I just kind of made this my home, and I was just kind of like trying to make the most out of this situation, and here I am. So I always tell people I'm either like I'm pretty stubborn. I'm not gonna like change my plans after I put so much preparation into them. But yeah, so got scammed. Vacation, you know, my vacation just became permanent, but it's cool. And I'm pretty sure I'm in the Bermuda Triangle because like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, like if you have connection or whatever, why don't you just like call somebody to to come get you and get you off the island and save you. I'm like, yeah, but like the GPS and all that stuff, my compass is like spinning, going crazy. You know, anywhere where I'm on a map, it's like, here she is. Oh, she just blipped out. Oh, here. Oh, she's over here now. You know, like the Wi-Fi is good, but I don't know.
Oh my god, yeah, trying to set up the temporal connection to get you here was such a pain in the ass because it kept jumping all over the place. Right, I'm so sorry. I
really appreciate it.
So it took us a little bit, but it's okay.
Right. Yeah. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you finding me. And here's the thing. I'm sure when you put me back, you're not even. It's probably gonna change again. You're gonna have to find me the next time.
Oh
so
my
it's
god.
kind of like
it's like a little game, though. I don't mind it.
Yeah. So you know, we're just making the most of the situation. That's it. So that's my deep lore.
Well, thank you.
Just a hardworking girl and just took my first vacation. I got scammed. I'm a little lost, but we're having fun, and that is all that matters. that's what's most important. So, yeah.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much for sharing. I will chronicle it into the archives.
Thank you. Don't give me a hardcover or anything. Like,
do you want paperback?
Yeah, paperback's fine.
Do you want like paperback or a scroll?
A scroll's too fancy. Do paperback if you can. And make the cover like look like a coloring book, so people are like,
a little children's book.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I want someone to accidentally find it, like they're pulling out a different book, and then they'll be like, "What the hell is this?"
Call somebody so they can rescue you and put you back to work. I'll pass. Yeah, absolutely.
No, don't send me back.
We don't need that.
Right.
I'd say you're pretty happy on your island.
Oh, I'm really enjoying it. So there's some monkeys here. They cause some problems. I know unpopular opinion. I hate monkeys. They're the worst.
What don't you like about monkeys? Is that they're sometimes a little too human? Because that's what off-puts me sometimes.
Well, okay. They are, first of all, they're gross, okay? I mean, they're like picking bugs off each other, they're eating bugs, they're throwing poop. Like, it's just nasty to me. It's just nasty. But aside from that, they're super annoying and rambunctious. Like, they're like unplugging my consoles and stuff while I'm playing with them. They're like just stealing my controllers and shit. I'm just like, would you not get I just chase them all over the place. They're just driving me crazy. But they keep me fit, you know. I can't just lounge around on the beach all day. I gotta move.
That's your activity.
Gotta do some stuff. Yeah. They'll just like steal my laundry and shit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But
that is frustrating.
Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. But we got some seagulls here. They steal my fries or my food sometimes.
Oh my god. The rats of the sky.
But they're okay. We got lots of crabs. This is a crab infestation on this island. Yeah,
everybody return to crab.
They're pretty great though. They're usually just snoozing.
Yeah.
They're just walking around having a good time. They have raves sometimes.
Oh yes. At
nighttime.
I love a crab rave.
Right. So
I've been around so many places. Love a crab rave.
Right. So
yeah. Get the crabs going.
Can I get some crabs in the chat?
Can we get some crabs in the chat? Oh, that's so great. And so I wanted to tell you or talk to you about a couple things for one. Because this is mostly a hangout, but also I like to as well as for chat, we just get to know our guests and hang out and talk to each other.
The crabs are coming.
Yeah, get the crab.
Hey, I see some friends in chat. Hey everybody, hi.
So we have we've been friends for a good little bit. And we are two people who have a lot of similar interests.
Yes, that's true.
And one is that besides beautiful titties, which is my favorite thing in the world, no matter who they're on, that's my favorite.
All titties are beautiful.
All titties are beautiful, and I'll stand by that. You can put me on record for that.
Someone clip that.
Lovely personalities, exactly. I have, because I every time I'm like away and I'm showing you off, I'm like, look at her, she's so hot, look at her. She's so hot.
Oh man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. When the hot girl calls you hot, oh fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh, oh my god.
on our little
this
date.
whole interview is just going to be us just falling in love with each other all over again.
I'll do it every time.
Oh my God.
But we have a lot of similar interests because originally, when last time we were on call together, we were talking about 13 Kingdoms.
12 Kingdoms.
12 Kingdoms, sorry. Ugh.
Yeah, the 13th is my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I think I was mixing 13 Sentinels with 12 Kingdoms.
Yeah, 12 Kingdoms, 12 Kingdoms.
12 Kingdoms. And I was saying how I watch, like, oh my God, anytime. It's truly watching your content is just the burst of nostalgia, because anytime you mention anything, I'm just like, oh yeah, shit, I remember that.
I love it. And you know what, honestly, like that's what I strive for. That's what I'm all about. So not only am I like reliving things that like were from my youth, but even things that like, you know, I didn't grow up with, but were from that time. And it's just a great little way to kind of reminisce, you know. So even if, like I said, it's not something that I grew up with, if someone's like, hey, check out this old game, I'm like, oh my God, what is this is so cool, you know. It just like, it still brings you back to a different time in my life, a different era. The games just feel different, you know. And then of course, like visually, there are new games out right now that look like older games, you know, aesthetically, and I'm all about that also. So you know, it's not like I only play old games. It's not like that. I'm not capping it off at a certain year. It's all about the feeling. Yeah. It's all about that feeling.
I recommend this is the same for any VTuber, just any streamer, content creator in general. It's that you should focus on what brings you the most joy.
Oh, 100%.
And so, because if you don't, then, I mean, there's plenty of people out there who are just like, you know, they're on the grind and that's like, they're content with that. Even if it's something that they're not a fan of necessarily, it's just being on that grind. But for me personally, I could not imagine being like that. I just can't.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like you can get burnout doing doing things that you love. Like you can get burnout doing anything. But I mean, it's kind of like if you're playing something that, you know, you don't really care about just because everyone else is playing it, like that, you won't be able to do that for very long. And the new people that you get viewing or coming in or hanging out with you for that short period of time, if they're not really interested in something that's not popular or something that you're passionate about, you know, they might not be there long term anyway. You know? But you know, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with that grind, and everyone's got their different like methods of doing things, you know. I just know who I am and how I am, and I also know the content creators that I enjoy watching. The most, like the majority of them are doing things that they love to do, things that they're passionate about. And even if it's something that I don't really know anything about, or something that I'm not like particularly interested in, if someone else is super into it and they're excited about it, oh my God, I love that feeling, you know, and I get hooked on it. I love when people are passionate about things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, I watch, like, I'm not interested in, like, camping or anything like that, but I stumbled across, like, the camping part of YouTube, and the people that are, like, so excited about it, they're like, oh my God, I got this new tent, whatever. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but,
hell
like,
yeah.
and I'm gonna watch it, because, like, that excitement and that passion is so, like, infectious to me.
Yes,
I'm like,
absolutely.
Tell me about what you love, you know?
And
I want to hear it.
That's what a lot of, I mean, I think it's just the same for anyone, but I wanted to specifically note that's what a lot of you and your community that you're building is basing off of. It's just definitely. Like a passion for this era.
Yes.
I love the vibe when people just talk about what they love, even if I don't fully get it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so good.
It's the nostalgia has such a profound impact on people.
Oh, definitely.
It's so like, because not even just through like the visual sense or even through video games of it, just like the sights are nostalgic, smells are nostalgic.
Right, yeah. There's just bringing you to a different time in your life, you know.
And it hit the way that it hits is so immediate.
Right.
So whenever you have like games are also something that I particularly like in the terms of nostalgia. It's game and media. because obviously it's with anime and stuff too. With games, it's because it's like you were there and you remember it and you relive it essentially. So a lot of your streams is just I can understand why people gravitate to it like so quickly and so like adamantly is because it's also a huge serotonin hit,
right?
Because it's just like, oh man, I fucking remember that,
right? Yeah, I want to just like I want to invoke that feeling in other people. And what's really cool is in the short time that I've been doing this, I've met so many just amazing people. We have a Discord. So people have been jumping in, and they are talking about all kinds of things, like not just video games.
Do you want me to link your Discord? I forgot to do that.
If you want, yeah. Do you need the link, like the invite link? I can
I'm
get
in
it
your
for you.
Discord. I'll get it.
Okay. I don't know if I posted it, and I don't. You know me. The technology. I don't know how to pull it from the Discord server itself. So like you do your thing.
I got you. I know how.
Okay. Every time I share my Discord, I have to go to my card links. Click that and then copy that link. I have no idea how to do it other. God.
There we go.
But yeah, so in that Discord we've had like obviously we're talking about like nostalgic games, right? But we're talking about, oh my god, nostalgic movies, nostalgic music, like just old albums, old like films, and yeah, like just oh, hello. Oh, that's my buddy there. Yeah, subscribing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, subscribe to Storyteller, everybody. But yeah, so it's like we're talking about all different kinds of things. And like we were talking about Godzilla the other day, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, who's your favorite monster? What's your favorite movie?" You know, it's just like that feeling is just so good. We're also talking about like retro finds, retro merchandise, old toys, you know, like all kinds of stuff. Like in the Discord chat, this was I don't know exactly when, a couple weeks ago, I guess. They were talking about old phones, right? Like old flip phones and things like that. And as a joke, I was like, oh yeah, this was my old phone. And I put like the old school like Pokédex toy in the chat from Pokemon. And then like one of the members was like, oh my god, I have this. It's sealed at my mom's house. We were like, oh, everyone was like freaking out.
Yeah, it's always that feeling. It's so visceral.
Fun. Yes, I love it. It's so awesome to just have that community and have everybody like coming together and just like, it's so many different things, and it's even like nostalgic art and artwork and things new artwork that looks like old artwork. You know, it's just like, it's the coolest thing, and it's just invoking like just so many like feel good moments. Everyone's been really great. It's so fun.
Brandon noted in chat also, fun personalities are key to fun yet organic personality. That was something that I was gonna add as an addendum as well, was that it's so much that it's just like it's one thing to, oh, thank you so much. It's one thing to just be like to like showcase these things. It's another to also like be interesting enough to stay.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. And I honestly, I feel like if you're being yourself and you're, you know, sharing the things that you're passionate about, that's interesting. You know what I mean? You're automatically interested. You know, so I don't want to say like, oh yeah, I'm a really interesting person. You know, I think.
So let me clarify.
I think everyone is interesting if they're doing the things that they love.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That is what I mean.
Yeah, everyone's just being themselves, and that.
It's I have a very specific example. I'm not gonna like note who, because I'm not gonna like shit on this person, but it was just like, this is like
just shit on this person.
Yeah, it was just me as a viewer. I had like a visceral reaction to this when I love, you know, I'll be browsing around because I love VTubers. I love VTubers so much. Because I love seeing their designs. I love seeing niche things that people are interested into.
It's like the perfect creative outlet. And I mean, we're talking about the personalities, right? That comes out in designs. You can see what people are passionate about. Definitely.
Exactly. And so I love seeing interesting things that people come up with and all these new things. And so I was looking at one person, and I was and the best way to get to know people like quickly, obviously, is to watch their VTuber intros if they have one, or if they made one. So sometimes I like scroll through and just see generally how people present themselves. And I just remembered this one that was like so. It made me so sad because it was like, it felt like it was painful for this person to do this intro.
Like they didn't really want to do it, or was that like part of their like character? Were they like
it could have been. I didn't know them well enough to know that this was a character that they're putting off. Right. But it's like the going through it, it's supposed to be like fun. Hey, this is what I like. This is what I'm interested. Blah blah. And like every one of this person's reactions was like, oh, I guess this. Oh, it's like, oh, probably this. It's like, oh, I guess you can find me here.
A solid answer, yeah.
Well, it was just like, it was so unenthused, and it also felt like I don't know. It could have obviously just been a character, but even like that even if it was a character, that turned me off to it so hard. And I was just like, why, if you're not having fun, why are you doing this?
Why are you here if you don't want to be here?
Yeah. And I can't explain hard enough how that was like such a visceral reaction to me personally.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't want to go into any detail about who it is, because it's just, you know, I'm not here to shit on anybody. This is just my personal opinion.
I got you.
And it's just like, I thought so hard about this, just like, you could have the most interesting design in the world, but if this is how you're gonna convey yourself, it just feels sad to me.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't you just have, because the complaint was like, in the video was the person was like, no, that's cringe, I'm not doing that, like in the video. And I was like, you edited this and put this out and thought this was good?
If you weren't having fun and it was making you cringe, why did you put it up? I guess there's probably like some expectations. I guess maybe they felt like they had to.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's like, I'm not like, there's all these different amazing designs and different like characters, and of course, like everyone has like, you know, like personas, right? Everyone, if they different VTubers want to do different, like be a different character. Eventually, as you stream, that all kind of like, it
falls off a little bit.
Apart, right? So it's kind of like, I always feel the best designs are the ones that are kind of rooted in some kind of reality, whether it be like a personality trait or some kind of, you know, like not necessarily physically, although a lot of the times, you know, the designs of the characters, the colors that are chosen, all of those things are based in some kind of reality. Not that a model looks like them, but like it could be based on their favorite color or something, like a color that evokes
design
certain feelings for them.
Like,
yeah, definitely. So all of that's like definitely very, very personal. And yeah, when you put a little bit of yourself into your character, just a little bit, I think that really shows, and it makes a big difference. So, but
I think it also helps you a lot with just being on stream in general. If you're the kind of person who is just like, I don't think I can put forth a persona for that long, and it's like, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I knew that was not going to be for me. I was like, okay, listen, I can't be you know, because I honestly, like, there was a bunch of different like designs that I was thinking about and I was considering, and different kinds of, you know, where I wanted to go with this, what I wanted to do. And then it all just came together and fell into place, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be as me as I can be, and you know, because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to hold up any kind of character. I was like, all right, well, I want to play old games, so this is what we're doing, because that's what I want to do. So
I'm very, for me personally, what you see, it's truly what you get. I obviously, I turn it up a little bit for stream, just because it's like, I don't want to, you know, I want you to be interested.
Right.
I'm a little more IRL. I'm a little more deadpan most of the time.
Well, yeah, I feel like most people like project, right? Because you are entertaining and things like that, and you know.
And
so
that's it's just the standard, but pretty much what you see is what you get. Like,
Yeah.
That's just me.
That's just me.
But I have mad respect for people who are like hard keep up with like their VTuber lore, image, whatever they have, and they hard incredible. Stick to it. I love it so much. There's a lot of JP people that I love that are just like, what do you mean? This is who I am. And I'm like, hell fucking right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do love that. I do love that because it's honestly, well, it's like a huge creative outlet, right?
Oh, yes.
So they can, in being in a strange way, in being someone else, you can also like be more yourself because that's where they're finding joy, right? You can feel that that joy and passion, excitement, regardless. So that's kind of coming through in them being that character. You know, you can kind of, and that's its own form of, I feel, of being genuine.
But then circling back to our nostalgia, it was what is something have you, let's see, what have you played so far? You played Kirby.
Yes.
Played it was Diddy Kong Racing.
Diddy Kong Racing, yeah.
What was
we played Joe and Mac.
Joe and Mac, that's
just
right.
Recently. Yeah, not too many people knew what it was, but
yeah,
that's
no.
Kinda...
Let me tell you, same reaction. I'm just like, holy shit, I haven't heard about that in years.
You knew what Joe and Mac was? Yeah. I love you. It's so amazing. So it's so great because like even if like you can play something that is old that a bunch of people remember, like Kirby, they're like, oh hell yeah, Superstar. Like for a lot of people, like their favorite Kirby. So that was kind of an easy, you know,
my favorite Kirby.
Natural thing, right? Oh my god, it's my favorite. So good. But so a bunch of people will jump on that because they're like, oh yeah, this is so nostalgic for me. But then if I'm playing something that's nostalgic for me, like Joe and Mac, you're going to get two completely different responses. More often than not, people are going to be like, I have no idea what this is, but let's check it out because it's from, you know, an older time. It's SNES, pixel art. Like, what is this, right? So the curiosity gets them. And then they realize they're like, oh, this game's fucking awesome, and they stay, right? But then you have this very small group of people that are like, holy shit, Joe and Mac, you know, or something, and they freak out, and I live that. I live that. You know, there's so many people where they'll just like comment and be like, holy shit, you're playing Space Station Silicon Valley? I was like, fuck yeah! You know, we just like, honestly, and I've said this so many times, I feel like I've found my people.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, there were so many times where I'm like, I was like, am I the only person that knows about this game? Like, am I like, and obviously like that's not realistic, you know, it's sold, like all these games sold like thousands and thousands of copies. But like, no one's really talking about them anymore. You know what I mean? And I just like, I don't want to let them die. I'm just like, I have to do my part and show everybody how awesome these games are. And I don't want anybody like, you know, I don't know, just like sleeping on these like really awesome, fun games just because they're quote unquote old or the graphics aren't up to date and all of that stuff. Because there's so many like just amazing titles and people like in the industry, like game devs and artists and everything at that time, they were working within those limitations and the things that they were able to do with those consoles. Like, it's insane. And I just like, I don't know, I live for that. I live for that feeling. And I love it when people are getting excited about some old stuff. Whether they remember it, or if it's something new and they're like, actually, this is really fun, or like, I really kind of want to check out this game now. It's just, I just want people to, you know, not forget the oldies but goodies, and just to give them a chance if they're interested, you know?
I can't tell you how blown away I was when Natsu mentioned Hoshin Engi as a favorite manga. That I'm not familiar with.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Hoshin Engi now. So if that's okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just get so excited. All right, it's my favorite manga. Basically, I heard of this series. There was an old anime called Soul Hunter, and we rented it from like, it was like Roger's Video or some shit. And then we were like, oh, it's just really cool. It's all like fantasy, and it's like
this one.
You Googled it real quick.
Okay. Yeah. I know. I've seen it, but I haven't like
the resurgence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched that anime, and I was like, I really love these characters. This anime is really good, but I just know that there's more and that I'm missing shit. And then that's when I found out that it was based on a manga. So I got the manga and started reading it, and I was just hooked. So they did a remake recently in the last couple years, which I started to watch, but the story itself, it takes place over a very long period of time, and the timeline kind of jumps around a little bit. And I know with the animes, both the original one and the remake that they did, they have a very limited amount of time to put a lot of characters and a lot of information in. So I know it's not going to be the best. Like, it felt a little rushed, you know, things like that. But I watched a couple episodes. It was nice to see certain characters animated that were never in the original story. But what I kind of want to do is reread the manga and then go back and watch both animes just while the manga's fresh in my head.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I do forget little details. Yes. Yeah, just some amazing characters in there. Amazing character designs, like totally 90s. Big hands. I was gonna say
feet. The big hair, the big outfits. Yeah,
the huge hair and the crazy colers. And
a bunch
bright.
of
I'm like, oh,
I'm sure you know when I say this. A bunch of like bubbles on the clothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like that's so
They're
up the
just
era.
like, here's just this giant gem the size of someone's face.
Exactly.
Just like love it. But it's like totally reminiscent of like those old school designs, right? Where like they have the characters in the old fantasy animes, they have the giant pauldrons, like even things like slayers, you know. They just don't make those characters like that anymore. So it was really refreshing. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one of my personal favorite old animes? That's not Yu Yu Hakusho. Though I fucking God, I love Yu Yu Hakusho so much.
If you want, we can just like completely derail and just talk about Yu Yu Hakusho.
Listen, I can talk Yu Yu Hakusho all day. I'm trying to. Ami has never seen it before.
Marathon.
So when we were at a convention, the last convention we went to, it's all on Netflix, and that's one of the ones where it's like, I'm usually a sub watcher, but like for those in that era, I have to watch it in the English because that's where I first saw it.
The dub of Yu Yu Hakusho is so good. It's so funny. So good. Yes, I love it. So I'm always gonna prefer to watch like in the original language, but like, man, some of those dubs from like the 90s, so like the ADV stuff, is pretty good. I love it.
So I had I would put it's on Netflix, so I would put it on whenever we were like either getting ready or winding down, and he would stand there and watch it like a dad watching TV, you know. And I would be either fixing something or we'd be fixing the wigs or whatever. And he would just stand there and he's like
standing watching.
This is great.
It's funny you mentioned that. Like when we were growing up, we didn't have like anime on demand, you know, like we do now. Now it's like I don't mean to sound like a old meemaw, but you know, now it's like, I want to watch anime XYZ. You can go to Netflix, you can go to Amazon Prime, whatever. You can go to YouTube, Crunchyroll. There's like so many, and it's at your fingertips, right? But back in my day, we had to either rent them from the video store. So we were like Blockbuster, Rogers Video, and they had very limited selection. Or you'd have to like stay up to some crazy time of night. It would be like 2 a.m. or some shit, and I'd be like, oh my god, Gundam Wing's coming on, you know, and I'd like I'd have to wake my ass up, and my mom would like come into the room and be like, what are you doing? Go to bed. I was like, Mom, the Gundams. She just didn't get it. But so my dad, we had like basically we had one television in the house that was like connected to like more channels, right? The other ones weren't. Like I don't know what kind of setup they had. He had like some special like box or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, so we had one television in the house that was set up with extra channels, and it was like the big main TV in the living room, right? I say big, but like you know, bigger than the ones that we had in the basement. So we that was the only TV that we could watch certain anime on. And we'd have to beg my dad, like, please, 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 at 6:30 tonight, can you let us watch this for 40 minutes, you know? So he caved, and he's like, fine, it's only one day a week, like, I'll let the kids watch their zany cartoons, right?
Yeah.
So it got to the point where, like, at first he'd, like, fall asleep during it, he didn't care. And then he would, like, kind of watch it, but, like, he'd kind of be, like, reading a book or something, yeah. And then other times he'd get up in the middle of it, you know. But then, like, after a few weeks, he'd be, like, out of nowhere, he'd be like, wait, I thought these two hated each other. I was like, you're watching!
You're watching!
Like, we would get so psyched. He would get so psyched about it. It was just like, it's hilarious. So that's what that reminds me of. It's like when you try to get someone into a show and you're like, it's fine, you don't have to watch it, I'll just watch it. And then they dive in.
Morris was
that's
like,
just what reminded me of.
Morris said, I was like a dad who was like, now what's this? And then I couldn't get ready because I was locked in. And then I do want to note, y'all talking about the Sci-Fi Channel Saturday anime. Let me tell you, the funniest thing is that the Sci-Fi Channel anime is where I was watching Yami no Matsue.
Oh shit!
That was my introduction into it.
The English dub on TV, where, like, Suzuki is voiced by, like, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, he's voiced by Dan Green! And then Hisoka is voiced by little baby Liam O'Brien, acting his fucking heart out.
God.
Kills me every time when I'm just like, because as somebody, do you know Critical Role?
Yeah. I'm not like super into it, but I know of it. I'm familiar with some characters. Yeah,
if you guys didn't know, I mean, I'm sure you do, but Critical Role is an incredibly popular D&D series that is all done by some of your favorite voice actors in the world that have been in an industry for a very long time. Liam O'Brien is in it as one of them. Obviously the voice of, like, Gaara, voice of, like a million fucking people. He did original Akihiko in Persona. A million and one voices. He's done so much.
Wait, who was he in Yami no Matsue?
He was Hisoka.
Oh fuck.
So this was like beginning of his career, and so knowing him through
like it was his gateway role. He's like, I'm an anime now.
It's like one of his earliest roles.
Yeah.
But I was like listening to him like now. And then also listening to him during that time, I'm just like, this is crazy.
It's like its own like little time capsule, you know?
Because I'm like, he does not sound like this.
That's crazy. That's so awesome.
Funny. But yeah, and I watched Sci-Fi was great because I watched a lot of things that were like I wouldn't usually like animes I wouldn't usually watch that were on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
Like that's where also I watched an anime called Toko. And it was about like, oh Jesus, how do I
Googling it right now.
Yeah, I think it's TOKKO, I think. It was definitely adult.
Oh, 2006. I've never seen this anime.
Yeah, it was this one. And the reason why I
with pink hair and the blonde guy. Yeah. Okay, I've never seen this.
It was kind of supernatural. And it was very bloody. Kind of reminds me of Gantz a little bit.
Right.
But I was just like, whoa, they can just have this on TV?
That's the thing. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. Same with Brandon in chat. Brandon says, funny story. I rented Devil Hunter Yoko when I was 15, not knowing anything about it, and my mother walked in at a very not good moment on the show. Yeah. That's the thing. It was, I don't know, like anime when it first was brought over. And just at that time, I feel like there's still a little stigma just with cartoons in general, but like, it was considered a cartoon, quote unquote, and cartoons were, quote unquote, meant for kids.
They were childish.
You know what I mean? Like, it definitely had that link with it. So we were, I have a funny, not so funny story. So when we would, my mom would take us, like, you know, whenever we got a chance, every other weekend, once a month or whatever, she'd bring us to Blockbuster or Rogers Video or whatever to, like, rent some anime, rent some games, whatever. So we saw So we would we'd look at the anime section, which was like, oh my god, so small, like 1-2 little columns, right? But it grew as it got popular, and you know, we like pick up this we pick up this anime, and we look at the box, and we're like, whoa, look at this really cool fantasy anime. It looks really awesome. Let's watch it. Mom, can we rent this one? Yeah, sure. Look at this cartoon knight on it. No problems, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Well, we go home, and my brother and I watch it. Luckily, I feel we're quite mature for our age, but it was fucking berserk.
Yeah.
So I'm literally like 12 years old, and I got my older brother with me, and we're just like, look at this cool fantasy anime, there's this sword. We're like, oh my god. Like, it was so bloody, so gruesome. Like, a lot of the terrible stuff is saved to the very, very end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how far of Berserk did you watch?
Oh, we fucking finished it.
Oh, okay.
Which is crazy. Now listen,
Yikes.
I don't recommend this to anybody. I don't recommend this. No. Do not watch Berserk unless you are over the age of 18. It's so fucked up.
Age, and it's also content that you're okay with.
But like, it was so easy to be exposed to that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So by the end of it, we were so invested in the story and the characters. And it was more of like, we were like crying for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were like, how could this awful thing happen? You know, we were so invested. And it still to this day, like, is like one of my favorite series. But it's just crazy that, like, you know, my mom was like, yeah, no problem. Like, she doesn't know, right? And the box was probably not even marked right, or that was the time, right? They're like, oh, cartoon's good. Here you go. But yeah, so I'm sure that happened to a ton of people where you're just like, oh, what's this show? You know, like when you were watching anime at 1, 2 in the morning, you're like, what's this cartoon? Cool, there's robots. You're like, oh my god, someone just got decapitated. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to think about. But if my mom knew, she wouldn't have let us watch it, guaranteed. Because I was talking about this on my Diddy Kong Racing stream. There's a little character in there, a squirrel. His name is Conker. He has I loved him from that game, from Diddy Kong Racing. And later, after that game, they came out with a game just for him. And it's called Conker's Bad Fur Day.
They came from that?
Well, I don't know what came first. I first was introduced to him in Diddy Kong Racing. First?
Yeah.
I feel like it came after. I don't know. Hold I really don't know. Someone Google that. But yeah, so like I was like, Mom, can I play the squirrel game? I want to play the squirrel game. Can I play the squirrel game? And then she looked at it, right? And she was like, or she saw like a trailer or something on because they had commercials, right, showing it. And she was like, no, honey, maybe not this one, because he like drank and he like I don't know, he probably smoked, and there's a bad guy that's like made out of poo. So it's just like, it was like raunchy 90s game, you know? But anyway, so she would let me play Conker, but she accidentally let me watch Berserk. So, yeah. Love you, Mom.
Oh my god. Conker the Squirrel, as his name states, the squirrel originated from Willow Woods. Conker is a longtime friend of Diddy Kong. Originated from Willow Woods.
Willow Woods. So, I don't know. I don't know when the game... Is there a game called Willow Woods, or that's just like his lore? That's where he's from.
It might be from inverse thing.
I see.
Let me see. Conker.
Let's see. Yeah, like we've got... Yeah, Nightwolf VT says, yeah, the rating system was more of a set of guidelines than actual rules.
Absolutely. Okay, Willow Woods is from, like, Conker in game.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Willow is the forest area, the homeland of Conker that appears in Conker's Pocket Tales.
Okay, let's see.
Much like Windy of Conker's Bad Fur Day. Okay, so let's see. Which came first? Let me see, when did Diddy Kong come out?
Conker's Pocket Tales was released in 99. I know Diddy Kong was before that.
Oh, so maybe then.
Diddy Kong Racing release was 97. And Conker's Bad Fur Day was released in 2001. Yeah, so like... Conker debuted in Diddy Kong Racing. And I was like, look at the cute orange squirrel. And then they're like, make him a badass.
Conker Pocket Tales was before Conker's Bad Fur Days.
Right. Yeah. So they had a nice game, and then when it didn't sell, they're like, "What can we do to the squirrel to attract viewers?" I guess.
The second game featured to conquer. The first being Diddy Kong Racing. Wow.
His debut game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was my first introduction to Banjo as well. Banjo from Banjo-Kazooie is in that game. I would play for him, but he's slow. But yeah, Kirby in chat says, me, fresh, 13, clicking on Elfin Lied, not knowing what was in store. Elfin Lied is fucked. Yeah. You just didn't know, you know, and like there weren't like anime like review sites. You know what I mean? You couldn't just go on the internet and be like, is XYZ bad? You know what I mean? Like, you
so
can't...
hey though, well, yes, the internet wasn't popular then, but that's where the rise of AniTubers came from as well, which was something that I was super interested in at the time. Where I trusted a lot of that era of AniTubers to like inform me on maybe things that I missed, or also like just talking about just like things in general, because in that era it was also like growing in, it took a while, but there was growing into the era of Toonami as well, and then Toonami making the rest of it making anime. I wouldn't say a mainstream at that point necessarily, like it's more mainstream now, but it's more it was more of like, instead of going from a hyper niche to just like a regular niche.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, to be into anime and all of that stuff, it was like very rare to like even find like merchandise and stuff like that, and now you can just like walk into like literally like Best Buy or some shit. I'm like, oh cool, there's a friggin'
I can go to Target,
My Hero Academia figure in front of me. You know, like it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, it happened again with Blood Plus. I can't escape. Blood Plus is so good.
Oh my gosh.
It was and eventually we got Anime Turnpike. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I wanted to, hold on. I'm gonna crack a cold one. Y'all ready?
Crack it.
There we go.
Oh man, that ASMR.
Yeah.
So good. Actually, you're reminding me to have a little sippy.
Have a sippy.
Have a little drink.
So pause anime for a second. What was your favorite retro or game of that era that you really liked?
Oh man, I've actually played some of them already. So
well, what's one you haven't played yet?
It's hard to say. Like, I mean, it's always hard to pick like a favorite.
Yeah.
For my VTuber Q&A intro video, I chose Banjo-Kazooie. I've just got really, really strong memories of Banjo-Kazooie. It's one of the few games where now I don't feel like you need to replay your favorite game over and over and over again, because one of my favorite games of all time I've only played once, you know, so I don't think that diminishes it.
Yes.
But in sticking with like the retro theme, something from that time, and Banjo-Kazooie is one that I do go back to every couple of years, anytime I can, or if someone like has never heard of it before, I was like, hold on, sit down, and I crack it open, you know? So I would say Banjo-Kazooie's like definitely up there. And that's like, I'm like big 64 era, like SNES and 64 were kind of like my big consoles growing up. So, I mean, a lot of my games that I'm going to be playing on stream and that I have played so far are going to be from those two consoles, just because they're like
so many. There's so much
for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You just have like endless games to choose from. But yeah, definitely Banjo-Kazooie. I'm a big platform player. I like platformers. And you know, I love RPGs as well. But I find that I guess I was more exposed to the platformers. I didn't play out the RPGs until I got a little bit older, which works out because I just, you know, I don't know, I could get into the stories more and invest more time into it.
I understand.
That kind of thing. I've never ever been a big first-person shooter type games. Yeah, I'm just not good at them. No, it didn't stop me from playing Doom on the school computers.
Of course.
But yeah,
Doom felt different though.
Just Doom is a different vibe.
Yeah, it's like Doom and Wolfenstein was like it was such a different vibe.
For sure. Yeah, so I'm not very good at those games. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to play them, but yeah, I just knew that like when I started the channel, I wanted to just start with all the games that were most familiar to me, and then so that way I can introduce them to other people. And then you know, as the channel grows and as you know things change, I would love to try a bunch of games that I've never played before that are from those eras. So just to try them out, and because like a lot of people in the Discord and viewers and things like that, or friends are like really passionate about those games. Yeah. So you know, in the same way, it's kind of like I love showing people the things that I'm passionate about, and in the same way, I want people to be able to do that for me as well, because it's such a good feeling, right? To see someone give something that you love a chance. So you know, I'd love to play something that I haven't played before that someone else is really excited about, so that way they can help me along the way too, because I'm gonna suck at the game probably. So, so it works out for everybody. I would say Banjo-Kazooie is definitely one of the big ones for sure.
My chat has been super helpful for me when going through Disco Elysium, because it's been Disco Elysium. If you don't know what it is, it's an incredibly in-depth game. You can spend 1,000 hours on it and still not get everything.
Oh man, I love shit like that. It's like a different experience for everybody.
Yeah, it's great. But the reason why I'm playing it personally is because of that reason, because it's so lore heavy and rich, and the people behind it made this incredible world. A lot of it based off of, you know, real life, but with its own spin on rich history and culture and stories within stories. I loved it so much, but you can get lost in it so easily. And I mean, like actually legitimately lost. And so I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So my chat has been very helpful.
Like Baldur's Gate. If I didn't have someone holding my hand through Baldur's Gate 3, I would have been like, where do I go?
Holy fuck. Yeah. So they've been super helpful with me going through that. But it's so funny. It's a stark contrast to where Natsu, I'm gonna make you play sexy chess Fire Emblem.
Oh my
God.
God.
Don't worry, she's already into Fire Emblem.
Oh my God. No, I know the characters and things, but I haven't played any of the Fire Emblems.
That's one of the older games that I also recommend if you played Burning Blade or stuff like that.
Sick.
I am also a big Fire Emblem fan. But anyway, it was it's a stark contrast to when I play Okami, where I'm just like, nobody fucking tell me shit. I have played this game so many goddamn times. Nobody tell me nothing.
Don't tell me where this beat is. I know where this stray beat is.
Yeah, I was like, not a single one of you say anything. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Actually, you're finishing that next weekend. I'm excited.
I am. I'm almost done with that.
I'm psyched. I've been popping in as often as I can.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see you.
It's been a good time. Yeah. I mean, the first Okami is probably considered retro, so you know.
Yeah, by now.
Yeah, PlayStation 1's retro, so I mean that was probably all around that same year. Was the first Okami for?
Okami was Wii.
That's for the Wii, right? Yeah. So let me see when the Wii came out.
2000.
If I could just type normally. 2006, yeah, you're retro.
Oh, it was, yeah, I was like 2009. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But, for personally, my favorite place, it was on PlayStation 2 first. I thought it was Wii first.
Oh, gotta Google it.
Hold on.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because I played it on the PS2. I played it on the PS2 first. And then I got the Wii one later because I wanted to be able to move the brush with the Wiimote.
Yeah, that's where I got it originally for the Wii.
PS2 Okami release. Oh, so wait, 2006, same year, right?
Yes.
PlayStation 2 in 2006. Oh, okay, wow, they brought them out the same year? Shit.
Ah.
It's crazy. Yeah, because I remember I played it on the the PlayStation 2, and when they announced the Wii one, I was like, man, I already own this game, but wouldn't it be cool to like point the Wiimote at the screen and do the brush strokes with it? You know, I was totally like, they totally sold me.
Natsu, don't say 2006 is retro. I just crumbled to dust.
Sorry.
It's crazy. But
you gotta take your calcium.
My favorite retro game, if you can't tell by the everything about me, was the original Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, fuck yeah.
If you can't tell the literal everything about me.
The literal everything about me.
It was Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy has always had a profound impact on me.
I have, I never, here's the thing. So we like got into PlayStation stuff a little bit late because we were kind of a Nintendo household. And,
I had both,
yeah, so we didn't get PlayStation stuff till like later. So when I did get it, like the whole world was open to me. I was like, oh my God. We had like, all the Final Fantasies. We had like, well, not all of them because I got a story about that too. But, most of Final Fantasies, we got like Crash Bandicoot, all the Monster Rancher games. I fucking love Monster Rancher. So like all of those. So, but I never ever played Final Fantasy. This is crazy. Okay, you ready? I never played Final Fantasy, but I knew like the characters, and I only had one spoiler for all of these years. Okay. And it was like the spoiler everyone knows.
Okay.
Yeah, with the sword. So I never played it until 2020 when the world kind of stopped. And I was like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity. So I played through it and I'm fucking in tears at the end. I'm like, I understand.
Yeah, because now you understand. Yeah.
Yes. So I was only exposed to that like just recently. Like, did I play through the original? But my first exposure to Final Fantasy, it was, and I always confuse the numbers because like the English releases and the Japanese releases all had different numbers. But it's the one with Locke. I think Terra is with him in that one too. Locke and Terra, is it 6? Like the 3/6?
I believe that is 6.
Yeah, that was my first exposure to it because we went to it was summertime and we went to go visit a family friend, and we were staying with them at their house for like a week or something like that. So we had the two families together and all the kids, right? So now I was one of the younger ones, and some of the older kids wanted to like play pool, right? Like billiards. And then I was just kind of like tagging along, you know, and then they were like, here, just give her the SNES here, just like give her Final Fantasy. And I'm like, you have no idea what you've done. Give me this controller. So they were like, oh, just get her distracted with this console while we go play pool. And I'm just like over here playing fucking Final Fantasy 6 for the first time. My life is changing all before my eyes. So it's just like these little moments that just have made up all the things I'm interested in. But yeah, that was my first exposure to Final Fantasy, and that was the first one I played. But
yeah, I had to double check because Final Fantasy 6 is not one of the ones that I played. But yes, it is the one that you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that was my first one.
I remember because I know Kefka, and I thought Kefka, even though like the design wise was so fucking cool.
Oh God, yeah, and his little laugh is so iconic.
Yeah.
I want that as my ringtone.
I played 7, and then I mean this was way later, but I adored Crisis Core. People can fight me over it. I fucking love Crisis Core.
Is that the one that focused on?
It was with Zach.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I would play it just for Zach. For real.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
he's so great.
There's so many people that there's quite a few people who don't think Crisis Core is good, and I don't care.
Is it canon, like technically, or like is it like a retail? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I
never played it. I didn't know the deets.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where's my Barrett spin-off game? That's bullshit.
I know, for real. I fucking love Crisis Core.
Oh my God.
So iconic. They remixed it for the original FF7. Yeah, they sure did. But yeah, I played 7, and then Crisis Core, but that was obviously way later. And then I played, and then some of them are like played but didn't finish. I played 8 but didn't finish. I played 10 but didn't finish.
Wait, what? You skipped 9? You want to talk about that?
I didn't get around. I just didn't have it. I know about it, obviously, but I didn't have it.
I haven't played them all myself. I can't.
Yes.
I can't fuss you.
I played
like
13,
9,
and then I played 15. I loved 15. Other people didn't like 15.
Is that the online one? Wait.
No, that's
which
14.
one's the online one? 14. Okay. Okay.
I played 15, loved every second of it. I don't care if y'all don't. I loved it. I beat Crisis Core at my job. Hell yeah.
What's the newest one?
The newest one is 16.
16.
And I have yet to play it because I'm poor. So I just haven't gotten it yet.
That guy's pretty fine though.
Oh my god, I love Clive.
I just see like pictures of him. I'm like, oh my god.
I love
who
Clive.
are you?
I wanna play it so bad. I just need to get funds for it first. But
all right, guys, you gotta drop your dono link.
No, it's okay.
Donation link. Get this girl Final Fantasy 16.
Crisis Core I don't really get the appeal of, but I understand I'm in the minority of that cap. Yeah, continue to be in the minority. I loved Crisis Core.
Oh my God.
It was perfect. I loved it. I love, oh my God, I can go on forever about how much I love Zach Fair just as a person in general.
He's great.
I personally think the writing for it was really nice, and I thought it was very emotional, very beautiful. Loved it so much.
There truly is a Final Fantasy for everyone.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
For real.
It's like, if you don't like the newer age stuff because you're like, I don't know, it's too contemporary, too pretentious, whatever the hell you want to call it. There's the older ones that are always for you, and then you can go back to the original like first couple of games where they were just like, dots on a screen. So there's truly something for everybody. So I haven't played 6, but I had the pleasure of working in the animated trailer from a few months ago. That's really cool.
Dang.
Wow, congratulations.
Hell yeah.
And so that was my favorite, was the original 7, and then also I love Zelda, so I love Majora's Mask so much.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay.
Like...
We're fine. Just smashing my desk. Okay, we're talking about Majora's Mask now.
I love Majora's Mask.
Listen, me too. And anyone that hates Majora's Mask, okay, listen.
Can suck it. Suck my dick. I love Majora's Mask.
It's got some flaws, okay?
Yes.
I understand you don't want to be under some pressure. I understand you don't want to be on the TikTok clock. I understand you want to reset time. I understand.
Targeting is awful and ass, and I understand, but listen.
It's so creative and so fun. It's so cool.
It's so interesting and cool, and the music was gorgeous, and I loved it so much.
Right. And you have to people who don't like Majora's Mask, you have to put yourself in that time.
Yes,
okay?
exactly. 100%.
So, Ocarina of Time finished. We played it. We had a fucking blast. It was amazing. Okay. And then Majora's Mask comes out. We don't really know anything about it other than, this is the next Zelda, right? So we're assuming it's either going to be a complete retelling, but at this point we're like, it's going to be a sequel. And then we're like, but wait, Link's a kid again.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's happening?
And then characters, you're meeting characters and their names from a previous game, but they don't go by that anymore. They're different now, different characters. And I'm just like, wait, what's happening? And this it blew my mind as a child. I was like, this is some crazy retelling multiverse fucking I don't know what's fucking happening. It was just the feeling that it evoked. And of course it had I don't want to be the cool edgy kid, whatever. But what I'm saying is it was very dark. We weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the imagery. When you put that mask on and Link is just
haunting.
screaming,
Really
you're like, oh my God. It just evokes these I don't know. It's super nostalgic for me. We played the shit out of that game.
Especially if you were someone of that era who was on the younger side and you're very young and impressionable. It's that was such a visceral reaction.
Yes, yeah, that's why, and it just stuck with me. It just stuck with me.
And I was also like, what do you mean the moon's falling down? What do you mean?
When you look up and then you get the
and
fucking
like, oh
creepy ass shit staring back at you.
Yes,
It made the stakes like way more intense. You know what I mean?
And you had to, and every time it was like, that's why. In my circle, my little group where I play D&D with,
yeah.
Because if you didn't know, I am been a long time dungeon master. I'm very avid D&D tabletop RPG player.
Yes, yeah.
So the every time it's the day of like one of our games, I will always send in chat like dawn of the final day. I'll send it like in every time.
Iconic.
Because it's just like, also seeing that. Do you know how like, again, I use the word visceral it is to be like seeing just that white text on a black screen being like dawn of the final day. I'm like,
it makes I read it, my heart races instinctually. And I can fucking hear that image.
Yeah.
I can hear that bell.
The bell, the dong. It's truly the death toll that's just like ringing. And then also even before then, just counting down the hours. And I'm just like, holy shit.
Right, it's so awesome. And it's just
so
like
cool.
Another thing I love about it is the world goes on around you. Okay, so you're in one spot. It's not like the rest of the game isn't loading. Those characters, those people, they are doing their
everything
things,
is
their daily lives,
yeah.
and everyone's reacting to the crisis in different ways, right? So some of them are like, that moon's not gonna fall, fuck it, you know. Other people are like, I hope it falls, fuck this place. Other people are like, you know, there are things that I have to do in case it falls. What do I have? I have 3 days to change, you know, to confess my love or whatever, you know. So it's like, to these characters, like, if you're helping out a character on day one over here, well, there's another character on day one doing something else, right? So it's kind of like, as you progress through the game, there are some things that you can miss entirely. Yeah. So when you go back and you're like, oh, wow, this is where they were that whole time, or this is what they were going through and I had no idea, you know, just the things like that is just so amazing. But I can definitely understand, like, the frustration of it gameplay wise.
Yes, it was a pain in the ass to play.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had a strategy guide. Like, that was like, we grew up with those. Like, and we loved collecting them anyway because the artwork. Yes, yeah. So like, we had the strategy guide. It walked us through, so we didn't miss anything, and we were able to experience everything. And then it made recommendations like, hey, slow down the time, or this is a good time to save, you know. So that experience, you know, and like with the strategy guide, made it a little less stressful. But I can definitely understand going in without any kind of strategy guide or any help at all, how crazy it could
oh my god, like, trust me, I get how painful the gameplay can be sometimes. Like, I fucking know.
right
Listen, I don't deny that, but it truly doesn't take away my overall enjoyment.
Yeah, 100%. I just got like some feelings. I got some feelings about it. But you had mentioned too, like, when you were like young and naive and impressionable, like switching gears here to Pokemon. Okay. So when I played Pokemon Blue, the original one, when I was very, very, very little, and it didn't occur to me. I was like, okay, yep, there's 150 Pokemon, and then they're like, there's 151. Did you hear about Mew? And I was like, holy shit, my mind was blown. Okay. But then Gold and Silver came out. I can't even truly convey like my feelings that I had, because like, I'm so young that I'm not making, like, as an adult looking at Pokemon, I'm like, of course they're fucking coming out with more money, right? More merch, right? Another game. People's jobs are, you know, like, this is, you know, this is here to stay, you know. But when I was younger, I was like, yep, there's 151 Pokemon, and that's it, and there's no more, and there can never be any more. And then the Pokemon company themselves says, oh, here's another 150. My mind, my little brain was blown. Yeah, I was like, and like that feeling, it's like same with Majora's Mask. It's just like this, you know, when you're young and exposed to like big changes like that that aren't really that big, but they feel big.
But they feel big,
you know? Yeah. So I just love that. And that to this day, like Heart Gold is still one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Well, I mean, Gold and Heart Gold by association. That's like my favorite generation Pokemon to this day. So
yeah, I've always been my first was with most people was with Red. And I just loved it so much. I loved playing Red. I went back later, like way later, and played Blue.
Fuck yeah.
But
well, my brother had Red. We always like we played simultaneously, so that way we could trade Pokemon. We had the Game Boy Colors and with the the link cables and all that shit.
Yeah. Oh my god, so link cable.
Yeah, we were evolving his Haunter and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I very, very rarely did I, and to this day, very rarely do I keep my starter Pokemon. So my brother's like, oh, fuck yeah. So he gets 2 out of the 3 starters because I never want it.
Keep your starter?
I only did in one case because it's my favorite Pokemon, but I'm not gonna reveal that right now because it's kind of like
crazy.
It's kind of specific, and I don't know. I feel like for some reason I feel like I'm gonna like dox myself. My favorite Pokemon is.
You can do whatever you want, but that thought is wild.
Because it's so specific. Okay, it's not like this is my favorite starter. It's like my favorite Pokemon of all time, and it's But anyway. It'll come out eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, but so it was kind of like I only kept a starter one time, except for the very first Pokemon because I didn't understand that I didn't have to use this one if I didn't want to. But I keep my gold starter, and then my every other game I just like catch a Pidgey or some shit, and then I trade it to my brother. I'm like, all right, here we go, you and me Pidgey. Something.
I never get rid of my starter ever. My starter comes with me all the way to the end, all the time, because I'm like, that's your first, that's your guy, that's your little buddy that you start with, that's the little buddy I'm gonna end with.
Okay, well, who's your starter in Red Blue era?
In the
first game.
In the very first one,
Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur.
It's always Bulbasaur. Always
oh my
Bulbasaur.
God, shaking your hand.
It's always Bulbasaur.
Oh my God, me too. He's so underappreciated.
Because I love grass types so much.
Yeah.
I just tended to gravitate towards grass types or the water types. It was very rare that I chose a fire type. I mean, I played Red so many times that eventually I went through all of the starters.
Yeah, you gotta try them out,
Yeah, because listen, like, just like anybody, I love a good Charizard.
Yeah, classic.
But I was just like, but that was me and my Bulbasaur.
Oh my God, he's such a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
He's a big guy, actually. I was always surprised when I see all the starters lined up and just like big chunky like Bulbasaur there. I was like, dude, you're a tank.
Yeah.
He's great.
I had all of them because I especially I liked their first forms. I liked all of them. I thought they were all so cute.
Yeah, they're great.
And then let's see. And then I did what was after? I did after that is Chikorita, right? I did Chikorita.
Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil.
Cyndaquil. Yeah, for that one I did Chikorita, and that one I did Cyndaquil later.
Honestly, you can't choose wrong. I love all 3 of those. Yeah, so good.
And then after I did is it Mudkip was?
So after Gold and Silver, I played every other gen.
Oh.
I actually never ever played Ruby Sapphire. So I think it's Mudkip, Torchic, and is it Trico or is
Trico?
That later?
Yes, Trico is the other one that that was the starter I usually went with. I would do either Trico or Mudkip. Mostly Trico.
Mudkip's great.
I love Mudkip.
I mean, all three of those starters are pretty solid. But I haven't played it, but I feel like when I eventually do, I'll probably do a Mudkip.
That is also one of my other favorites was Sapphire. I loved it. I loved it so much. I played it so many times. But yeah, it's Trico. Yeah, Trico.
Trico's my boy. Night Wolf knows what's up.
Because he's a dark grass type, I believe, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, oh.
Is he really?
Wow. I think so.
That's so cool.
But yeah, it's Pokemons.
We love Pokemon.
But in anime, have you ever heard of the anime called Mare?
Mare.
M-A-R.
Oh, I call it Mar. I called it Mar.
Oh, you say Mar? It's Mare.
Well, you pronounce it right because you only like you see it online and then you're like, what is it? Yeah, we called it Mar. Like,
Okay.
Is that with the blonde kid and he has the little like, the flail with the face?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what that is. And
Okay.
you want to know? I remember the little girl that's in that. She's so cute. I remember her name is Snow, and that was like kind of like one of my first times where like I heard like a character with a name like that. You know what I mean? So I just like I always remember that. I was like, Snow, that's so cute, and the way that they pronounced it was really sweet. I was like, oh. Now I didn't watch all of it, but like we watched a little bit.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my god, how many episodes is it? I want to see now.
Oh, it's a longer one. But
Yeah.
the reason why
March Awakens Romance.
March and Awakens Romance. Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep. Okay. So I'm so glad because I'm like, if anybody knows who this anime is, it has to be Natsu.
It's gonna be fucking me.
Yes.
It's so funny. All right, I'm like, fucking. Okay, this is like what we are living this nostalgia right now. This is what I'm alive. I'm alive.
Because listen, look at me right now. And nobody I have ever known in my entire life knew what Mare was.
Dude, now we have a fucking secret handshake.
Yes. And so I cannot tell you enough. I mean, I love older animes with all my heart. This one it's been in my head so much that I want to rewatch it again so bad.
It's so funny. Oh my god. I'm like I'm on Google right now looking at everything. I was like, yeah, the blonde kid, the flail with the face. That's wild.
Yeah. And
so
then
funny.
Babo was the flail, and then there was Dorothy, who
I
was
remember
the witch.
Yeah. Let me see how far I got here. Because I don't know if I was introduced to all the characters.
Rave
my
Master
God.
was great.
I don't remember this dog with the Santa hat.
Oh yeah, that's no, you know who he is because
I
you
do?
know his other form.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
He's but I don't remember his name though. Hold on, what was his name? Russian Awakens.
That's so funny.
Yes. Shit, what was his name?
I can't believe you brought this up right now. This is fucking insane to me. I'm just like looking at these pictures. I was like, oh man, you just like fucking unlocked a core memory.
Because at the time, I was so ridiculously attracted to Alvis, like everybody else.
Alvis?
Alvis is
the guy with
the blue hair? Yeah, because he was also
yeah.
voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, who does
Oh,
Sasuke.
okay.
So.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Who's the dog? He's the yeah, Edward. Okay, so the dog
His name is Edward?
Yeah, because do you see the big man with the beard and in the ponytail? That's him.
Oh my oh, it's all coming back to me.
Because his form changes.
That's hilarious. You were like, yeah, you know him. I'm
I was like, no, you know who he is.
I actually do know him. That's crazy. That's so funny.
And I always thought that Dorothy was hot as hell because she is.
Is that the pink hair girl?
Yes, she's the
okay.
I
She's
loved
cute.
her. And also there was some crazy yaoi that was happening there.
Wait. Was it actual like yaoi, or were you just shipping the ships?
Listen. Who's to say that the potential was not real? Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, wait. Well, who were you shipping in Mara, this anime that nobody knows what we're talking about?
The toxic yaoi between Alvis and Phantom was the best thing in the world.
Okay, wait. Now I have to look at who Phantom is.
Phantom was the main bad.
Oh,
and he's
I don't know if I got far enough to see this guy.
No, you did. Well, maybe not see him, but if you got far enough to see who Alvis is, Alvis talks about his backstory about how Phantom is the one who put the curse on him.
I got you.
So eventually he was, was doomed to die, and then that's why they went after Phantom to go, among other things. But I was like,
I got you.
Wild things are happening there. And I was like, eee. Yaoi.
That is crazy that you brought this up. That's fucking hilarious. I haven't like looked at this anime or talked about this anime in like like 20 years, maybe more. That's
and also,
so good.
the other would be Nanashi. Nanashi is the one. He has the long blonde hair. And the man, I think, he had.
I've seen Nanashi.
He had a friend, right, and I don't know if I want to spoil it necessarily how it happened. Okay, I'm not going to spoil how it happened, but he had a friend, and his friend passed away. And the crazy, like the pining there. Oh my god.
That's hilarious. That is so good.
And also there was the yaoi between Roland and Phantom. If you look up Roland, I love Roland.
Okay, hold on.
The stuff that was happening there, exceptional, exquisite.
Now this character I really don't think I know.
No, he was much later.
Okay.
This was quite a bit in the series. It was getting closer towards the final arc with the war games.
I got you. I got you.
So the reason why I love this is because of the little toxic yaoi love triangle. Because there's Phantom at the top, who is so like, who craves Alvis carnally, and then there's Roland, who loves Phantom so much that he hates the fuck out of Alvis because Phantom spends all of his time thinking about Alvis, and I love it.
The love triangle.
It's delicious. I love it so much.
God, I love that. Nightwolf in chat says, I recall Rave Master, but not this. Now, I heard of Rave Master, saw like ads for Rave Master, but never watched it. Like, I can recognize it.
I know what it is,
I know
but
that
I just
the
never...
characters. Yeah. Well, you know, like when we used to get the anime DVDs, they'd always like have trailers for other anime, right? Yeah. So a lot of the times, like, if I know of an older show but I've never seen it, it's thanks to one of those. So I don't doubt that like Rave Master had like an intro or a, you know, a little like trailer teaser for those DVDs
Rave
on a
Master
DVD.
Is the same person who did Fairy Tail, right?
I think so. Let's see.
Let me see. Hiromashima. Yeah. If not the person, either somebody who like co-worked on it.
Hiromashima.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I wonder if it like ended. I always like look back at some of these older shows that I never saw, and I'm just like, you know, did they ever finish it?
Same guy, yeah. You know? Okay. Yeah.
Cool. That's
so
really interesting.
Yeah. It was one of those ones that I always saw, but I never actually got into.
Right.
The other one was the one that I never finished. I'm gonna go back and watch it eventually. It's just been an eternity. Was Get Backers.
Oh my god. Okay.
I never finished Get Backers.
We're gonna talk about Get Backers. Now, wait. Did you say you never finished it?
I never finished it.
Okay, I finished the anime, but it's kind of one of those, you know, very common where it's like, you know, there's more, or that they may have changed I'm not sure if they changed the ending or not.
Speaking of crazy yaoi, hey, Get Backers.
Right? That's not even that's canon, that shit.
Yes.
No, Get Backers was amazing. Honestly, it kind of like, as weird as this sounds. Now, I haven't watched any JoJo's. I'm not super familiar with JoJo's.
I am.
But from what I hear, they do battles and powers in very unique ways, and that is very Get Backers to me.
Yeah.
Because of like the powers are like very specific, and then their uses and how they interact with each other are very specific, which was super cool. I just remembered like really enjoying the fight sequences, and Get Backers was really fun. And the characters are so like just lively, and they have a lot of like enemies turned friends, you know, like I love that shit.
I'm sending you things.
They got like a crew
in Discord. You look at that and tell me that this is not a BL.
All right, hold on.
Like, these are official designs. Are you kidding me?
These guys are fucking dating. What are you doing?
Like, they are literally on top of each other. Like, what are you talking about?
For sure. Yeah, that is Get Back is canon. Yeah, that is canon yaoi for sure. I love the fucking like the girls in the back. They're just like, fuck yeah, these are our guys.
Yeah, we're gay.
Funny.
Keep scrolling.
Oh my God.
Such that
That's
energy.
Fucking good. just jumping back a little bit to Hiro Mashima. He did work for the manga of Saber Marionette J as well, which I wasn't going to come on this show and not fucking talk about Saber Marionette.
Of course. That is not something that I watched, but I know of it.
Oh my God. Let me know when you're ready. We can do it.
That's what I was saying. I was just like, I mean, of course you can do whatever you want on your stream, but if you ever have a watch party for Mare, I'm going to be there.
Let's fucking go. I'm going to do it in your honor. Are you kidding me? And then it's just...
I think everybody should watch Mare.
It's going to be us in chat, and everyone else is like, what is
what
this?
What the fuck is this? And I'm like, everybody knows what we're fucking doing. Is what it is.
Just get into it.
The reason why I love Mare so much is because it's like the concept isn't like the most new thing, but at that time it was so fascinating to me. So if you don't know what Mare is, it's essentially, it counts as an isekai because he does get transported to a different world. And so our main character, who is a huge nerd, big dopey nerd, gets transported to this other world where suddenly he's like super strong, and he used to wear glasses, but now he's got perfect vision. And he gets this a ball and hammer that's called Babo, and it's
that guy's crazy.
It's a sentient hammer, and he is in this world that is full of arms or arms, but the arms are all these different pieces of like primarily jewelry, but they're like little weapons, or mostly pieces of jewelry or ornaments or utensils, tools. It can be anything that are imbued with like magical powers. So
didn't like sometimes they like would hide them pretty well, right? Yes. So like you think that someone's just like has like a really nice necklace or something, and you're like, oh shit, it's a weapon. Oh my God, we're like, it's like you're just like hiding in plain sight kind of shit.
And you can be somebody who specializes in like different types. So Dorothy was somebody who specializes in like summoning. So she had like a bunch of familiars. So she had like they're kind of like these little metal totems, and she would release them, and it would be like a little lion, a big lion, or it would be, you could pull out like a fucking dragon. Like it would be all these like different types. While other people, there's like Jack, who his arm was, he's a farmer, so his arm is a shovel. And so his shovel can change sizes, and he can like grow things with it over time. He can harness his like powers of the earth, and he can like grow things out of.
Yeah, I remember him.
I loved Jack. He was so funny. But yeah, and so everybody has a different kind of arm that suit him and suit them. And at that time, I just thought that was like so creative and interesting. Right. Because then you look around your house and stuff too, and you're like,
what could I use?
What could I use? Yeah, exactly. And I think that also I'm such a collector of like little trinkets and stuff like that too. So that appealed to my little like crow nature of just like having little trinkets.
I fucking love this. I love that shit.
And so that's why I loved it so much, because I was just like, this is essentially collecting trinkets, the anime.
Right? Oh my God. So I love when a show or a series or a game or something like that where you're so impacted by it that you kind of like, and you kind of look for it in your everyday life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it brings like just a whole new life to like the storytelling, and that's just so amazing to me. Like it reminds me, that totally reminds me of have you ever heard of Angelic Layer?
Let me see if I visually remember.
So it's by Clamp, the same crew that does like Cardcaptor Sakura, Magic Knight Raiders, all those guys.
Because I love Raiders. So yes, I do know what this is. I never watched it, but I do know what it is.
It's very good.
Oh my God, because I love the character designs so much.
Right? Yeah, they're so good. So Angelic Layer, I remember when I was watching it for the first time, the idea of like, okay, so basically they make these little kind of little tiny like action figures or little tiny dolls, right? Yeah. They're like, and then they put them into like this cyber arena, right? And then you can control the dolls, right? And then they fight each other.
Kind of like background.
So the idea of like getting this little, like, you have a total blank slate, you know? So it's like episode 1, it shows her like finding out what these things are, becoming obsessed with angelic layer, you know, and then she like goes into the store and she picks out like, you can pick out the body, and you can pick out wigs and hair, and you can design the clothes, and it just shows her like creating this thing like from scratch, and she's putting like all of her like hopes and dreams and like, you know, just like herself into it, you know, and I was just like, oh, it's just the coolest ever. So I was like, when I saw that when I was younger, like that's why, like, when I first saw like ball jointed dolls and stuff for the first time, I was like, oh, it's like angelic layer. You can customize, you know, it's like the idea of like customizing like a doll or a Barbie doll or an action figure to what you want, you know, and having all of those options was just like so new to me. So that just reminded me when you were talking about like, oh, all the artifacts and the jewelry or whatever, and the powers. I was like, oh yeah, you can do your own like little angelic layer doll. So I love when people can take a concept and just like look around and just apply it to like just with their imagination, you know. It just shows like what kind of impact the series had on you, or the idea, and then how you can like, I don't know, make a creative work like just live on in a memory. Absolutely. You know.
Yeah, you know, the funniest thing that in addition to that, like to show an example, is that I used to have well, this is funny. I used to have a crystal ball, like for real.
You pondered your orb?
I pondered my orb. So it was like a small little thing. It was like, again, another little trinket that I had. I had like this small, it didn't actually work, from an oracle myself. It wasn't one that actually worked. I just liked having it. Yeah. But the ball itself broke. Just, I don't remember how exactly, but it shattered, and either I pondered too hard, and it exploded. But maybe I dropped it on the floor on accident or something like that. But the thing that was like a part of it was that there was like this little I guess it was like this it was probably iron or something, because it was really like heavy metal.
Like the base?
Yeah, it was like there was like a base, but there was like this little dragon that like sat on top of it, kind of.
Okay.
And so the glass broke from the ball, but then like the dragon piece was there, and I mean the dragon piece kind of like broke, like the tail part broke a little bit. But I still like, you know, I kept that dragon, and then I made it into a necklace because I was like, it's like an arm, look at it.
That's so cute. Can't take it.
Yeah, so because it because it was like a little dragon holding like its own little orb in one of its claws. And so it had like
so you just like strung a chain through the middle
so
there,
the arms were like fused together, so I can get a chain in there. And then I just put like a little like cheap you know those kind of like little those necklaces that they usually put like dog tags or something on, like that kind of
little
necklace.
like the ball
yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So I had one of those because I also had a collection of those type of chains. So I just took one of the ones that I had and I strung it up, and I was like, look, it's like an arm. Isn't that cool?
That is so awesome. Tell her we have to bring it back.
Yes.
You have to bring it back.
Have fun with your little trinkets.
Retro's cool now.
Bring
the Dragon Ball necklace back.
It's true.
Oh my god.
And I know for a fact I still have it. I know it's buried. I know it's because I know I put it in like a specific packaging with a bunch of like old things that I have of just pure trinkets. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's in a box in my closet. Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of stuff from when I was younger that I kept. But there were some things that I wish I kept that I didn't. And like to this day, I'm like, why did I do it?
Yeah.
You know, like, why did I sell it? Why did I get rid of it?
Yeah.
You know, or whatever.
That's my problem though. I'm such a hoarder.
Yeah.
As you can see from my library.
I mean, it's a good thing in some ways. So now you get to have all these like old things. You know, I did keep a couple things. I have this I have a poster of Chohakai from Sayuki.
Yeah.
This has followed me everywhere. I'm looking right at it. It has followed me since I was 13, and it has been in multiple different houses, multiple different like apartment situations. It has like left countries. I just bring it wherever I'm living. I'm like, get the fucking Chilakai poster. I can't get rid of it.
I have my poster that I have is that I finally gave it a better home. But I had an old Vampire Knight poster, like a wall scroll, that I got an eternity ago. But this was like, I think it was like 2 years ago. I brought it to a convention with us so I can give it to Koihai.
Oh my God.
So she has it now.
That's so amazing. I love that.
I was like, I asked Ami before we left.
It's a relic.
Yeah, I asked Ami before he left, and I was like, do you think she'll actually want this, or do you think she has it already?
She should have it.
She didn't have it, so
that's like, so funny.
Please take it. I'm not gonna hang it up. Please take it.
I love it. That's hilarious. I've never actually watched that show, but like I know about it.
It gets wild.
Seen it.
That's I know Koi's gonna run to chat.
Just like bust through the wall.
She was so excited. Yeah, we have a picture. She was so excited about it.
That's so funny.
I'm so glad she liked it. I was worried she already had it. Or like she wouldn't want it because it's like it's a wall scroll, so it's fucking huge.
Yeah, oh my God, no, that's fantastic. I love it.
So funny.
Brandon in chat says, ooh, I feel that way too deep. So many things I got rid of that I wish I kept. But you know what? Everyone's more connected now than ever, right? So and one person's trash, another person's treasure. Like, I love the hunt.
Yeah.
Man, me going like retro merch hunting, finding shit at like thrift stores, garage sales, up on like used website like Mercari, stuff like that. I have found some crazy shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, as an adult now, I'm like, collect all the things I lost. So I'm trying to get it all back, which is a fun little, you know.
When you got a steady income, the amount of things that you like find, that's what I think like your older years are for, or like when you finally have a steady income, like get that figure you always wanted, buy that box set that you never could have, like
it's like, it's important to mature, right? But like never grow up, you know what I mean? Like always like just have that like
joy and whimsy. We need more whimsy.
We need whimsy. Fuck it.
I'm all about whimsy.
Cringe is
dead. It is the death of cringe. Be free.
Honestly, just like, I don't know, people are most beautiful when they're just happy, you know.
When they're with the stuff that they love,
Yeah, just be happy. Fuck it. So yeah, be happy.
Also,
buy that fucking cartridge from your youth. Play the friggin' the kids game. Play Joe and Mac. Die 1,000 times. Whatever.
Play Tack and the Power of Juju. Get it.
So yeah, I just now that I'm able to, I'm kind of collecting the things that I got rid of, recollecting, but also finding new old stuff too, which is exciting.
Yeah, so. I know for me, since the if any official companies, close your ears real quick, but emulators have been my saving grace.
Oh boy. Now I've been using them for stream, just because it's very so easy to set up. You know, that sort of thing. But any game that I play on stream, I, for the most part, every game so far at least, and the upcoming, I've got the carts, you know. I try very, very, very hard to have purchased it in some capacity. I'm always going to prefer the original cartridges, and I have all the original, all the old consoles are sitting behind me, but the idea of like setting up all the capture cards and the wires, I'm very new to this thing, so I have been relying on those. I've been relying on the emulators. Although they're a blessing and a curse. I used a save state the other day, and I fucking saved over the save state, and it was gone.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a common issue.
It's kind of like, you know.
So yeah, here's the thing.
You think it's gonna help, and then it turns on you.
Yeah, I would love. The thing is, we wouldn't have need of these things if a lot of games are now like genuine lost media.
Yeah, which is so sad. Yeah.
It's incredibly sad how hard, not only how hard it is to get a hold on these things, but how like those consoles, like older consoles like Atari and up, are just like, they're collectibles now. They're dead. Like you can't get games for those anymore unless they're just like, you know, somebody already had them and they're trading them off, selling them, getting rid of them. You can't just go somewhere and buy them. They're gone.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they're not being made
not available
anymore.
in stores. They're not being made anymore. So you have to rely on either having one from
that secondhand,
or,
like
or finding it online and secondhand and stuff like that. But yeah, it really depends on the console. But the other thing, as far as streaming goes, you know, as much as I would love to play on some of the older consoles, some of them, especially the real old ones, aren't super reliable, right?
Yeah,
so it's like you might
exactly.
just be playing and then it's just going to glitch out, or it's going to like So it's which doesn't really work in terms of a stream, I feel. But yeah, so it really all depends. I'm always going to try to have the cart, but there are ones that are like, you know, country exclusives, right?
Yes, exactly.
Or
100%.
Arcade exclusive. They never even came out for
a lot of
home
JP
consoles.
titles that are just like they never came out in the West.
Right. And I do have some like Japanese carts and stuff like that, just because I like them. I like collecting them.
Yeah.
But you know, things like for arcade units, I'm like,
absolutely.
fuck, I mean, what, I'm gonna go drop like $20,000 on this like one unit that they made, you know. But at the same time, like, I still want to be able to expose people to those things that they may not know of otherwise. You know, check out this really cool game. You can't really own it right now, but it exists, and I want it to exist on the internet as well. So people, it doesn't become lost media. You know, like let's talk about this, even though it's not super accessible.
Like half of the Sega Saturn library, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
It's straight up, a lot of this content is just gone. But there's other people, especially in chat was also saying, I get concerned about media disappearing. It's a real problem. And so that is where a lot of us who feel the same way on the internet come in and be like, we're not gonna let this die. And that's where the emulators come in.
Right. Yes.
And that is like genuinely keeping these kind of content alive. Because the companies are not going to do it.
Yeah, and I mean,
there's no
when
investment
they do, it's very, very rare. And honestly, it's so exciting when it happens that everybody like supports it. You know what I mean? Like when they brought back all the like Capcom versus SNK stuff and all those collections that have just come out. All of us, guaranteed, we were like, oh yeah, fucking buying that shit. You know, but there are some smaller games that like they don't have big companies, or the company and the copyrights and all of that stuff have switched hands so many times that, like, you know, there's no way of distributing it. You know, even like even Banjo-Kazooie was in like that weird that weird zone for many years because Nintendo and Rare and the, you know, the licensing and the distribution and all of that stuff. You know, there's just so many people involved when making games. Obviously, when making anything creative, usually there's a big team involved. But I mean, even the smaller ones, you know, even indies, you know, it's kind of like if there's some kind of dispute or something like that, it can't be presented, or you know, it can't be sold like it used to. So anything can happen, you know.
Or the fact that some companies don't even have the original codes for games. Looking at you, Square Enix. 100%. And people like playing on emulators is the reason you even see revivals like River City Girls and such. God, I fucking love River City Girls.
100%.
But yeah, it's so like, this is I think constantly about how like the Game Boy games that I've lost, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna get those back. But now it's like, I play Pokemon on my phone. I have not only do I have Red, I have Sapphire, and I have Emerald on my phone right now.
Yeah, I am waiting for them. I don't know if they'll ever do it, but like, I think it would be a smart move. I am waiting for them to drop like some kind of Pokemon collections game where you have, you know, all of the old games, every version on one. You know what I mean? Because I would throw some money down for that.
I would too.
For sure.
But yeah, the fact that I can just the pure fact that I can have all 3 of those games, which seem like monumental games when I used to play them on the Game Boy, just on my phone.
In your hand right now.
Minuscule amounts of data that is taken up on my phone.
For sure.
Crazy thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean all of these is barely a blimp in my download space?
Like it's smaller than a photo these days.
Yeah.
But that goes back to like, you know, they had those limitations on those old systems and those teams did some amazing
work
stuff
with what they could do.
Yeah, it's like that when you see like PC98 art and stuff like that from those old games, it's like they have a way of mixing the pixel colors to create more colors.
Yes.
Like it's so fucking, it's crazy to me because you're looking at it and you're like, there's no way this is however many colors it is because there's so much depth to them. But when you put, you know, 2 different color pixels beside each other visually when you zoom out and you look back, it looks like a third color.
They did so that like a lot for there was like Mega Man and for like Castlevania. And it was like just these limited palettes, but it depending on how you work them. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah, I love seeing what developers, and I mean even just creative people in general, just like see what they can do when there's a limitation and just watch them like shatter it. You know what I mean? And shatter those expectations.
How do we work with
like
that?
Just like totally surpass it and push the console and push the capabilities to like as far as it can go to be the best version that it can be. It's so impressive to me. For sure.
My favorite.
Dithering techniques. That was the term. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and we were talking about like all the video game lost to media and like, you know, all of those, like they don't have the codes for the games anymore and all that stuff. Same thing with retro anime. Oh my god, all the old cells, all the old hand painted cells.
Yes.
Studios go under and they just throw them in the garbage.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's crazy to think that like this used to exist in the world.
Yes.
And because of storage or whatever, because of, you know, things going, you know, like companies going under or whatever, it's like all of these hand painted works of art,
gone
frame by frame, these old amazing anime, like art pieces. They're just in the trash and they're gone. They're in some landfill somewhere. It just like destroys me inside. It's crazy to think
because
about.
I'm so passionate about like cell art and just animation in general and things like that. Since I do art and stuff myself, it's just like this is so like it's crazy. I yearn every day for just like some cell art of my favorite media, and then to just learn eventually that all of those are just like a lot of those are just straight up gone.
Right.
And yes, of course, it's sometimes they have to throw it away because of strict Japanese copyright laws.
Right. Yeah. There's all different just reasons for it, and it's just so sad. Just like these things that used to exist in the world.
Yeah, and
gone.
I found cell art especially. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I'm in love with the production aspect of it. But I found cell art to be the most beautiful art.
Oh man, like wow. Anime. Like I don't want to sound like a. Sound like an old lady, but these days, anime these days, they're very beautiful. Okay, they are very creative and colorful and bright and crisp and clean, and they're really like flexing with like styles, different styles and stuff like
merging
that. Now it's
CG
very
nowadays and trying to make it either a certain stylistic choice or making it like as seamless to the animation as possible. It's very cool to see.
Right. So it's like it's so impressive, but ultimately, like when you go back and you watch something like an anime like Record of Lodoss War, and you're just
God,
holy shit, the things that they were able to do by hand.
It's
just crazy, you know what I mean? So it's like it took longer, but the payoff, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, to me, nothing is going to be more beautiful than that type of at that time in animation history, because those like hand painted cells, you can see, I don't know, you can you can really like see the person in it. You can feel the art. Like it's just, it sounds so crazy. I can't really describe it.
It is very hard
so
to describe.
to me.
Yeah, but it's such a unique. It's so like. It's such a specific feeling that it invokes.
Yeah,
back in my day like... mode activated. Yes, exactly.
I do that a lot. Yeah, but yeah, that is just like, you know, there's so much amazing, like impressive stuff out there now, and it's beautiful. But to me personally, it's not gonna evoke the same feelings as something that I know is done by hand. And there's so many people out there that like are bringing it back, but with the new technology now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like things like
so it's like
things like Cuphead, amazing. That's incredible. You know, it's like hand done, old techniques, but also using the current technology to elevate that and to make it work together. And they have this new game coming out. It's a very, very old anime called Samurai Pizza Cats, and they're coming out with a brand new game about this old small anime, and it's super cool, but they're hand drawing all of it just like they did, and they brought the old voice actors back, and it's just this big like nostalgic kind of feeling, and it's just like the game is hand drawn, and it's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing to me. I love it.
It's my issue with most modern anime is just how so many of them look alike to the point of where the styles melt into one thing. See, I see what you mean, but I don't quite agree.
I think it depends. It depends on the studio. Really depends. It depends on, there's a lot of like,
I think it's like financial limitations. Yes, yeah.
I think it's studios and finance, because there's a lot of like really unique stuff out there right now. But you can tell when something's on like some kind of time crunch or financial crunch. Where the animation is taking that effect. A pretty good example of this. So there's an old visual novel series that Teller, you might know about. Now I never played them, but like I know of them. It's called Two Heart.
Let me see here.
It's a dating sim. I don't know how intense it gets. Usually, like, you know, the visual novels and stuff, like, well, you know, they can take a turn. I don't know the plot of it or anything like that. I just remember seeing artwork of it. They're bringing it back. So they're doing like a remaster type thing.
Is it spelled T-O Heart?
T-O, yes.
Oh, okay. I spelled it as T-W-O.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
So yeah, they're bringing that back, and they showed like the intro animation. Now it was frame by frame, like identical, but the new graphics, like it took away that hand-drawn kind of feeling to it, and it just seemed so like bland and soulless to me, which is crazy.
I understand.
Yeah, I hate to make like big, like bold statements like that, and honestly, like especially because they're doing something awesome by bringing back this older. Yes. You know, I don't want to be like ungrateful, but I'm kind of like, you know, it doesn't have the same feeling. Now you could do it right. You could do it right.
That's why I like Fruits Basket.
Yes.
And then
perfect.
It was,
that's a great example.
It was like the original was great, though obviously it had some issues because it deviated from the manga, all that, blah blah blah.
Right.
And then they released the newer one recently, a slight style update with a closer following. Exceptional. It's phenomenal. I loved it so much.
Oh yeah, no, that's a perfect example. There's ways to do it right, you know. Now I'm sure, like, of course, like budgeting and all of that stuff comes into play. I don't know how much like they had time or money to put into the Two Heart remake to make it, you know. But like, for example, one of my favorite games and series of all time is Tokimeki Memorial. And I pre-ordered, they're doing another like remake remaster type deal, and I pre-ordered like the deluxe edition. Because of course I did. But what they did was they gave players the option. They're like, hey, guess what? We upgraded quote unquote updated, whatever. The graphics, so it's the exact same CG art that you can unlock, but it looks a little crisper, looks a little cleaner. If you're not into the old style, or if you're only getting into this for the first time and you know nothing about it, and you need a little segue, you know, you can choose that, or you can go all the old school original graphic.
Yes, yeah.
And same thing with the music.
Choice.
They're like,
we
redid some music. We have some new composure, you know, we composed some new stuff for it, updated, whatever, has a new sound. But if you like that old stuff, switch it over.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, it's
that's
like, I love
really
having that option, because that shows me that they cared, you know, they respected the original enough, and gave people that option.
Yeah.
So I like it when they consider the nostalgia of it all, where they don't just completely wipe it over and they just pretend the original didn't exist. You know what I mean? They're showing it some respect while also just giving people the option, which I really appreciate. So chat's blowing up.
Yeah, we all have strong opinions. Resin, I love the roughness of old animation. It was so textured. Yes, textured. I love that.
Yeah, that's
textured
the word.
and beautiful. Animation now is so clean. Yes, it loses amazing detail. 100% I can agree with that.
Yeah,
And then, sorry, that may have been too harsh on my end. Hard to type my thoughts sometimes. I respect their work. I mean, I do watch new stuff a lot. No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize.
I don't want you to.
Yeah. I'm not chastising you or anything. Yeah.
I don't want you guys to think that just because I'm a retro anime VTuber that I'm like, I hate new shit. I'm like, no way. I'm watching new stuff, guys. Come on. I'm present.
My personal point is that it was just a more of the fact of like, I think about the companies and like the people who are working on these. Because no matter what, animators get treated like absolute fuck ass garbage.
Oh god, the hours and stuff.
Hours to work for pennies.
Yeah,
pennies that they're making.
And a lot of the times they're staying there late because they really, not because they have to, but because they're trying to, like, they're putting everything of themselves into this, and they're trying to make it the best it can be, you know?
Yeah, and they're doing their absolute best that they can in the field that they work in, and creating incredibly. I personally love if it has a compelling enough story, I love it. It doesn't, no matter what style, era, no matter where it is, I adore it. I've noted one of my favorite animes personally is Jujutsu Kaisen. Of one of the newer ones, because I'm in love with the story. Like, you can critique it, like it, hate it. I don't really give a shit. I like it. I never care about other people's, like, if they hate something, I'm like, cool, that's nice. Anyway, I love it, and here's why.
There's an anime for everyone, just like there's a Final Fantasy for everyone.
Yes, exactly. I personally never am bothered by other people's opinions of whether they dislike something, unless they have a profoundly wrong opinion. Like, you didn't even unless you're incredibly wrong to where I'm like, you didn't even watch it. I know for a fact you watched it with your eyes closed. Like, you cannot be this blind. But we talk about oftentimes about like Jujutsu Kaisen and its animation quality, especially in the later seasons, where it's like insane pieces of work, beautiful artwork. But it's notorious that producing this content, especially from like Mappa and Madhouse and stuff like that, producing this content is killing people. Sometimes literally is killing people.
God. Well, even like outside of anime, even the mangaka, you know, every week I feel I feel like I read something about a manga artist who's hospitalized or has arthritis or like is, you know, God, who knows?
It's especially the recent times. Rest in peace, Miura. Is just for the mangaka for Berserk. It's just the same. The amount of work ethic you put into this, like that's your life, so much so that you die from it, is insane. So in my personal opinion, you can always talk about how compared like older anime compared to newer anime and stuff like that. It's like comparing their styles and everything, and how you're saying it's like, oh, you wish it had this or this or this, blah blah blah. To be, and Toriyama too. Yes, rest in peace. It was to me, I personally can never, though you can have a, of course, obviously everybody has a preference. I personally can never really compare or like say it's like God, like not that I'm saying, chat, this is what you were saying, but it's like I just hate newer anime because it's all the same, like flushed out garbage. I'm like, even if, because I there's a lot of animes out there, and how I fucking hate them. I hate them so much because, but it's not because of like the animation, it's because the stories that are being produced are such shit. Right. But it's nothing on the art. I don't think, because even if it's like, you can look at the same fucking black-haired isekai protagonist a million fucking times, and it's like, yeah, it's the same fucking guy a million fucking times. But that's also because it's like, well, this story is shit. I don't think the art is shit. I think there's an artist out there that worked really, really fucking hard on this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to dedicate your time and energy to this shit.
Oh my god.
That's
so
my feeling on it. It's like, I'm never gonna condemn or like kind of hate on like the artist or the people or like the production of like the production behind it all, but I will call it cookie cutter garbage sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though, it's like you can tell if a studio or a crew or whoever, you know, you can tell when their all is in it, when they're passionate about it, or when they're just like literally just trying to sell merch so they can finish this series. So that way they're on to the next fucking thing, or it's just their 9 to 5 and they're just trying to get by until they can do their passion project that they actually care about.
God bless them. Yeah.
You know, so everyone's just navigating the best that they can, you know, and just making the decisions that are best for them, you know.
What you gotta do,
But like, y'all, don't think that we hate new games and new anime, because that's not realistic.
No.
I like to talk about the old ones.
I love a lot of new the reason why we talk about older things is because a lot of people just don't know the older things.
Right, so we're sharing that.
Yeah, and so it's
sharing
about
the feelings.
Yeah, it's about sharing something that you loved a long time ago that somebody else may not know.
But I mean, for current stuff, I mean, Teller, you know, I'm obsessed with an anime called Otome Yokai Zakuro. That is, it's only like 12 or 13 episodes, something like that. That's like from maybe from 2010 or something like that. So that's like way more recent than like most of the stuff that I'm into.
That's considered old.
And, right, I guess. And that's probably like one of my favorite animes of all time. It's like beautiful to look at. It's action, romance, comedy, dark storytelling, but also like action and adventure and like just intrigue. It's just it's got it all. It's got it all. And that's more current. I haven't had time recently for current anime. Like I just don't have time like I used to sit down and like watch like a big show. But I did watch Apothecary Diaries. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I watched the first season of that. Excellent. I think the second season's come like current, but I'm trying to finish it.
Natsu, I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you how long ago 2010 was.
My bones. My god. Wait, is it 20? Okay, hold on. Let me Google when this came out. I was like, I like a newer anime. I like this from 2010.
One that was like 15 years ago.
Release year. It was 2010. Leave me alone.
Still a long time ago. No, but I know 100% what you mean. I'm just like 2010. That wasn't that far ago. It's like it's been 15 years.
I'm pretty sure Kirby's bones were shattering when I was talking about how old the PlayStation 2 was, or whatever we were talking about earlier. It was so like, you know what?
Yeah.
Time is passing before all of our eyes.
Because if you're considering a newer but like not that new. Stop a decade and a half. Yeah. Because if you want to talk about like newer things, you would be talking about like, I don't know. I
don't know what's airing right now.
Like Chainsaw Man, or like
okay.
or like Demon Slayer, because that's moving on to
Diaries is right now.
That is new. Yes, that is current.
That's right now.
Or like what's older but considered new? Like. like Bungo Stray Dogs, I guess, or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a little behind, but I've been watching the Pirates. I've been watching One Piece.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
I'm catching up. You know, that's old and new. It's current.
Yes, yeah. Still going. Where are you in One Piece?
I ended with, and this, I had such a good time with it, and I was like, let me just enjoy this, and I've just been like brewing on it. I finished Dressrosa.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I know there's so much going on. I've only gotten like 2 spoilers after Dressrosa. The fact that I've avoided them is some kind of miracle.
Kaiju number 8 is also a good one, really good. I was just gonna talk about the Ranma reboot. Thank you so much.
Oh, Ranma reboot.
I love Ranma so much. I adore the Ranma reboot. I adore it. They're doing such a good job with it. I'm really pleased with it. I love it's the same thing that we were talking about, where it's like it's still in the style of the era that it came from, right, but it's just cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, it knows its roots. Yeah, and it's respecting the original.
But it's just
I'm really feeling it.
Yeah, it's cleaner. It has a softer palette, brighter colors. It's maybe brighter colors isn't quite the word, but it's like it's just softer.
Yeah, honestly, it's a bit like
even the dub,
because Ranma had like the red hair, but now it's like more pink with the new one here.
Yeah.
But like, which is also like, there's some like artwork with the manga. Sometimes it's like bright red, but then other times it's like a softer pink. It just depends on like what kind of art you're looking at.
Sometimes they change the style like during certain scenes, and they'll change like the texture, and they'll change like the atmosphere.
But even in the like the original manga, like you look back at the old like OG Ranma half like artwork, and the colors changed. The colors changed too.
Yeah.
So like seeing Ranma with pink hair instead of red hair, it's different than the OG anime, but it kind of like reflects, the old manga and the old watercolors and stuff like that too that we'd see. So it's pretty. They're doing a really good job with it.
Yeah. That was
it's more tolerable.
Disagree. I liked her no matter what. Disagree.
Oh man, I love all the sisters, man. They all got their own. They all got their own little charm. Yeah.
And so I oh my god, I love it so much, because I'm like, I mean, Ranma. I already thought Ranma was super cute, but I'm just like in this one, I'm just like, he's so cute. I love him.
I'm a Ryoga girl, but
yeah. Don't worry, I'm a big fan too. But he's just like
I love them all.
I just adore how it's drawn so much. I love it. Love it.
Feel good. It's feel good.
Shampoo,
like
my
it.
beloved. Shampoo.
Oh, shampoo.
My love,
So
shampoo. I'm glad she's finally in the reboot. I'm just like, yay!
Yeah, oh my god. Actually, when they first did the teaser trailer, they didn't show Shampoo or Ryoga at all, and I was just like, where the fuck are they? Like, we know, right? So funny.
And yeah, so that's and I was gonna go into how these reboots, I really do like. I appreciate reboots so much, even though you can make a bunch of arguments that, companies profiting off of nostalgia and stuff like that, because it does work. I mean, a lot of us are just trying to relive those days.
Well, here's the thing. It's like everybody that grew up with these shows are old enough to be in the business. So honestly, a lot of those decisions are like, hey, I really want to make this happen, and I'm actually old enough and in this industry to make it happen.
I'm here now.
Let's start the convo.
100%.
Which I think is fantastic.
I love how they did Konami
nostalgia always, it just has a special place. It sells, sex sells. It's not gonna. Everybody wants like to relive those memories, and myself included. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. And I really appreciate, honestly, especially a really good reboot like Ranma, to introduce that in a way that's a little more palatable to a newer audience.
Yes, 100%.
As we were talking about before, how it's just like there's a lot of people who don't like that older style, or they just can't get behind it because of the way it looks.
Personally, which is totally valid. I mean, like, everyone's gonna have their tastes, right?
It personally bothers me a little bit. I'm not gonna ever condemn somebody for it, but it just bothers me that you let that stop you.
From learning about and hearing this amazing story, you're just like, nah, way it looks.
You're
I
just
was like,
I don't like the way it looks.
the way it feels.
But there's so much. But there's so much history. There's history here.
Right. I've always been very fortunate. I could I could always go back. And I've always been going back. Like I mean, like I was raised with like Marx Brothers movies. You know what I mean? Like my parents threw on those black and white movies, and they're like, "Hey, look at these funny guys!" Right? Three Stooges, all that stuff. And that was like even like, you know, those were things that I guess they grew up with, and they shared it with us. And now the things that I'm growing up with, I'm gonna share with other people. You know, it's just the impact that it has on you. But like, yeah, I'm very fortunate to. My parents weren't always like putting on the latest and greatest, you know what I mean? Like we would watch them and check them out. You know, I'd be going to every Disney movie that came out and be going out in theaters and checking it, you know, all of that. But they still put on Snow White, you know. Yeah. They still put on Lady and the Tramp. They still put on these old ones that came way, way before, you know. So I've always been able to appreciate some of those older things. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Those John Wayne and Elvis movie. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It wasn't my particular flavor at the time, but because I was just a huge fantasy nut, so.
Wait, a huge fan of what?
Fantasy nut.
Oh, a fantasy nut. I thought you said I was a huge fan of, and I was like, wait, what? You're a fan of nuts?
Huge fan of nuts. I was just any bit of fantasy that I can get my hands on, I loved it.
Definitely, yeah.
And so that's where my interest in anime and manga came from.
Are you a Lord of the Rings girly?
I'm a big Lord of the Rings girly.
Fuck yeah.
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings girly.
Oh man, extended edition all the time.
All the uncut, the commentary, all of it.
Oh yeah, the more I have, the better.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing.
I put that on like every other year. I just have it playing.
That's the other thing, is that I love seeing the production of things.
Oh yeah.
I love seeing how things are made. That's why recently I've been on a horror movie kick, but not watching horror movies, seeing how they're made.
No, I love that stuff, especially with like practical effects. I'm a huge fan.
Yes.
Huge fan of practical effects. Things like monster movies, Godzilla, even like things like, you know, like the Dark Crystal and all of that stuff. Like, yes. Just knowing that like those things were made by hand and they exist in the world somewhere. And I love seeing how it all comes together. Like
crazy,
if you've ever
and like
watched,
a lot of things are from Jim Henson and like the work behind there. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love all that stuff. So like when you mentioned like horror movies, I was like, yeah, they do like all the prosthetics and things like that. Like that's all kind of like intertwined, you know. But that's why like. I've watched some Godzilla. I'm not like a hardcore like you know, I don't know everything about it, but like, you know, I've watched every film at least one time. And anytime I can, I always watch the like behind the scenes and stuff, and just seeing like how the
man
suits,
in a suit.
how yeah, right? Just a dude in a suit.
Just a guy in a suit.
So just seeing how they put them on, how quick they have to make the takes because how heavy the suits are.
How heavy, how hot it is,
Oh my god, and the miniatures, they have to like, they got one shot, they got one chance to get that shot.
Yep.
It's all destroyed, weeks of work, you know, like that's like, it's so cool to see. I could never have patience for something like that.
Speaking of lost media, practical effects are becoming a lost media.
Oh man, there's some people fighting for them for sure.
And I appreciate that so hard, and I'm going to continue to fight for it as well, because there is, especially like with, obviously with technology progressing the way that it is, there's so much that you can do with tech, and that's so cool. But at the same time, I was like, we're at a level that also there's so much you can do practically.
Right, yeah.
We have
that's
the
been
tools
evolving
for
too.
it. There's so much there's so many ways to do these things practically that but it's just investing money in it. It's truly just like,
it's all about so
it?
expensive. It takes time, and you have to come out with something right away and get the money
and
the
turnout time for it, and it's just insane because of
so I totally understand. It's very risky in a lot of respects, but I just love it. Any movie that if it's got practical effects and that's a big focus on it, or something like claymation or whatever, I'm going to the theater, whether I'm interested in what it is or not, because I want to support that, and I want to show that like, yes, people want this. I want this, you know, because so much more can come from it. Anytime there's a claymation or like Yeah, like when they did that Dark Crystal remake, like on
Oh yes,
Netflix.
yes,
Watched
yes,
the
yes.
shit out of that.
Uh-huh.
I wish it was coming back, but too expensive, you
Yeah,
know.
no.
But we were there, we watched it, and
Mm-hmm.
we supported it the best way that we could.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because I
we
used
gotta
to
just
eat
do what
up
we
behind
can.
the scenes stuff from Jurassic Park and toku stuff. Yeah, tokusatsu.
Oh
I
yeah.
appreciate how
Oh,
a lot of
tokusatsu.
tokusatsu is still like doing practical effects. Like still.
Right.
Love that. Love that.
That's like a tradition.
It
They're
is a
doing
tradition.
so well though
Yeah.
too. All the yeah.
And
I
you're
love
so
it.
right. Jurassic Park still looks amazing today compared to many CG effect movies. Absolutely, and it still holds up. Even watching it now, it still holds up. It looks
Oh, man, I'm still afraid of some of those dinosaurs. Fuck.
It's so
Unreal.
good. And that's why. Have you ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
I have not.
Oh
I'm
my
not a big
God.
horror movie. I'm not a big horror movie person.
I didn't think you were.
I get scared. I'll watch it with you holding my hand.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'll hold your hand. But I watched the whole thing behind the scenes about Cabin in the Woods and how because it's supposed to be. I didn't know what for because I also was a huge horror movie watcher.
Yeah.
Because I just like I get sometimes I'm sensitive to like seeing people in too much pain. And especially if it looks realistic, it just makes me, it makes my bones crawl.
Right.
But Cabin in the Woods is really good because it's supposed to be, it's like satire based off of the horror genre.
Right.
As well as how like having its own little horror and its own horror in it as well.
Right.
Incredibly well done movie. It's like it's its own think piece on the whole genre.
Wow.
But the way that they combine practical effects with CG is seamless. It is so good.
I love that when they use them in tandem with each other. It's like it just elevates it.
Because I think
so awesome.
personally that's the best way to make your of course you have to do what you can within your restrictions, or if you just have a budget that can't support it, I'm like sure, whatever. But if also if you're a multi-million-dollar company, then you can invest in some fucking practical effects, like listen. If you're fucking making billions on that shit, then you better put some practical effects in there.
It's creating jobs and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna overwork a handful of people on computers, or you can divide the work, and you know, you got still those same people on the computers, and then other people that are doing
this.
Other people that are doing things by hand. So
but a lot of the because they have a lot of different monsters and creatures in Cabin in the Woods, not to like spoil the twist on it and everything, because
spoilers, everybody. You won't follow me. I probably won't watch it. I'm scared.
You don't want to watch it? Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you then. Everybody, earmuffs if you don't want to hear the big twist of Cabin in the Woods. It's an old movie, so you probably know by now, but it's pretty considerabably old. But the whole
is it old or like Otome Yokai Zakuro old?
It's like yes, it's like early or later 2020. Fuck, when did it come out? Cabin. It's older. Cabin in the Woods came out in is it an A24 production? Something like that. 2011 or 2011.
Okay, see, it is old.
Yeah, it's a decade old.
Well, no, it's new. It's new, but
newer. But yes, it's a Joss Whedon movie. It's really good.
New to me.
It's like the SCP one, kinda.
What's the SCP?
SCP is the do you know about like it's the special, was it special containment? Hold on. I'm actually forgetting what SCP stands for. It's just something containment.
Old is a strong word there. I know, that's what chat was telling me, is the game is old, or my anime was old. It's not. It's new.
Hold on. It's secure, contain, protect. That was it. Yes. I got it.
Secure, contain, protect.
Okay, so SCP is like, do you know that little this was such a early this was such like an early 2000s thing about like SCP containment breach. That was a newer game that came out, but there's an older version where there's like this little creature that's like a weeping angel. It's like this yellow kind of dull like looking creature that you have to keep watching or else it's like it comes after you and it's like snaps your neck.
I have absolutely not even an inkling, not even 1% do I know what you're talking about, but
okay.
it sounds terrifying.
I'm gonna send you a picture, and if you don't like it, I'll delete it afterwards. But this is like the little creature I'm talking about.
All right, let's see.
Does this ring a bell to you? Do you know what this is?
Never seen it before. It's
No?
horrific.
Okay,
I see
okay.
my nightmares now.
I'm gonna get rid of it.
God.
Okay, its image has changed recently because of certain reasons.
Okay.
But that was the old original. Okay, so it's essentially like there's a the game. It's like the whole lore behind SCP is that it's a containment facility for all different kinds of like special creatures, monsters, or like odd items, things. Sometimes world-ending creatures or entities. It's a foundation to like
keep them in prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's like a huge lore that's all encased like that. Like even the most basic things can be considered like SCPs, like werewolves, vampires. Those can be considered SCPs.
Okay.
But like there's a bunch of different like esoteric creatures that can also be SCPs. Like there's a, oh god, I forget what it's called. Like there's an eternal hallway that's considered an SCP. It's like an
How do you trap an internal hallway?
You don't. So those are ones where you can like the SCP Foundation will create like a fence or like a barrier, or they'll have like armed guards that like patrol this area, but obviously you can't contain locations.
Right.
So if there's a location that's considered an SCP, they'll usually have some people that like watch over it. So like there's like the eternal stairway is like one, or there's like a stairway that as you, or it's like either the stairway or a tower that as you climb it, you get older. So it's things like those. There's like a stairway that you go up and you can't go back once you start going up.
I was about to say, can I just fall down the stairs?
No, you can't go back. There's something, it compels you to keep going up the stairs. You just can't, you can't turn around. And yeah, and you just increasingly get older and it never ends. And so it's either obscure things like that, or even something mundane like there's an SCP that's just like a rubber ducky. That's an SCP. So it can.
How? Why?
Let me see. Was there anything specific behind the duck? I know there was a little ducky. Hold on. SCP rubber. Oh my god, we're going down a rabbit hole. I didn't mean to go down here.
I was about to say, I don't know how we were talking about Cabin in the Woods, and now we're searching up rubber duckies. I don't know what that is.
There's SCP duckies. And they're just little rubber duckies.
Well, okay, that sounds safe enough.
Yeah, and there's different classes for like there's the safe class, and then there's ones that are like they're harmless as long as you don't touch it, or they're like an active harm, or they're like a world-ending harm.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do something related to this in a future stream, but that's not what we're here for. Cabin in the Woods. So the reason why I say Cabin in the Woods is kind of like SCP is because Cabin in the Woods, like the big twist on it is that all the monsters from all the different horror genres are being kept and contained in this facility. So your swamp monsters, your
wait, in the cabin?
So the cabin is a front. The cabin is just
I've been fooled already.
So essentially there's these group of researchers that unless they compel a you know how in every horror story you have like your nerd, your jock, and then like either like your stoner and like your final girl. Yeah. So they are compelled by an ancient prophecy that they have to sacrifice these archetypes.
Oh my
or
God.
Else there is a god that sleeps underneath the facility, and if it doesn't have these sacrifices, it's gonna destroy the world.
Oh my God.
And so they have to find these people, and they compel them to go through a horror trial essentially, and they start in the cabin, and in the cabin there are a bunch of different like little items and baubles and trinkets, and depending on what they pick up is what kind of creatures they will set on these people.
Could any of them be a hammer with a face, or
Uh, maybe.
Yeah,
But
they got their little artifacts, their trinkets, turn into their weapons.
Turn into the weapons, yes. But there's one that was like the one that they ended up picking on was like technically they were like zombies.
Okay.
So the lore behind it was that the family of the cabin is undead and they're like they're coming to like rising from the ground to, you know, just go and kill these people.
Spooky.
And then yeah, but all the other like little components in that cabin are all different types of monsters. And so there's like demons, there's a like Hellraiser kind of creature, so like Pinhead and stuff like that. There was like just all these different kind of little off-brand, but you know, you could like if you see them you would be like, oh, that's like a reference to this. Yeah,
archetypes of
yeah. There's people that look like they came out of The Purge, you know. There's like two little twins that are reminiscent of The Shining.
Right.
I remember the Sugar Plum Fairy because I loved her so much. She was just this little girl in like a little ballerina outfit, but her face was nothing but rows and rows of teeth. So it was just a circular opening and then it was just rows and rows of teeth. And I love that design so much. And
creepy.
Almost nearly all of those were done with practical effects.
Okay, which one's the safest for me to Google right now?
As in the cabin in the woods?
Theory?
Yeah, you can do that. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's as terrifying to me personally.
Okay, Sugar Plum Fairy Cabin in the Woods. No, woods. Okay. What do you look like? Oh boy.
It's so cool.
Oh boy.
It's so cool. And her face was
creepy.
It's so cool. If you look up just like the monsters in general, like how they did the merman is all practical effects. That's a guy in a suit. It's so cool.
Merman. Oh, ew! That's crazy.
It's so cool.
That's crazy. That's
here,
so
I'm gonna
awesome.
send you. I'll send you the box.
All this because we love practical effects.
Yes.
That's
Here you
crazy.
go. Okay, so you see these boxes? A lot of these were like all of these boxes were real. Like they were done and filmed behind a green screen. So they're either actual people in outfits or like they filmed the box and then for like, you know, the more like terrifying and like actual full-on creatures they put in CG. But they like still film the box and they film like the setting and then they just put the creature in that. And then there's this whole huge scene where they're going through an elevator, and I'll send you this picture too. They're going through an elevator, and in that elevator, the two like remaining people, all of these boxes here are a bunch of just creatures, and all of those are either like real people or like practical effects that they just like edited then in CG later, and they were like constantly moving around these boxes in the shot and stuff like that. But almost all of those were like real and practical effects.
That's crazy. Yeah, this is a perfect example of like finding those like that happy middle ground where you're utilizing the practical effects, but you're also like elevating them with the CG.
Loved it. And then there was
there
was a big scene at the end essentially where the two remaining people, because like they were coming in and they were fucking up the whole facility, and so the facility was trying to stop them, and they essentially pressed the switch that released every monster from their containment. And so there's the hallway scene with the elevators where essentially there was the group of soldiers that were in it to like try to get these people, and then all the monsters were released on them. And that whole scene was one long shot of a combination of practical effects and CG of them just ripping apart these guys.
It was a long shot, like they didn't cut or anything.
Long shot.
Dude, I love that shit.
Yeah. It was a long static shot.
The amount of coordination, like needed to do a
So
shot like that.
yes, also, so let me tell you about that. So sorry, chat, but let me tell you about that. Passions. Remember where we were talking about how love people with passions? This is my passion.
Right. That's why I want to hear what you're passionate about and what it makes you excited. And it's this. So this is what we're doing.
This particular scene here, I'll show you 2 images. This particular scene was so hard to do. Or like conceptually that, and I'll show you there was the aftermath of it too.
Holy hell.
So it goes from this, and then I like highly recommend, there's like a clip somewhere of just this scene. And I mean, if you can stomach it, I mean, you should, I would recommend it. But yeah, anyway, it's essentially that it was so complicated for them to do this scene that they had to CG animate a practice run of it all first. So they essentially made a bunch of 3D models
to show everyone where they're supposed to stand and where they're supposed to walk.
Two things, because it was also where everybody needed to be, but also a placement of where that they were gonna put some of the creatures, because some of the creatures are just CG while some of them are practical.
Right.
So they animated essentially a section of each individual like event that was happening.
Wow.
So in the animation,
crazy.
like there was one guy on the side and he's getting pulled in by a couple tentacles. There's another guy in the back that is getting ripped in half by like 2 flying demons. There's another guy on the side where it's just this like amalgamous saw machine.
So you have to like watch it multiple times, you know, to catch everything. There's probably so much shit going on.
Pure chaos in this scene.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, and so it's like they animated each individual event that was happening in this scene before they then shot what they needed to, and then also put whatever had to be CG, put that on top of it as well, and then compiled it all together into that one shot. It is crazy. So cool to watch. I love it. I loved it.
I feel like I'll never be able to watch this movie because I get the scary spoopy. But it's
a little spoopy,
but it looks really cool, and I can't appreciate stuff like this.
Yeah, but it has so much humor to it that I'm just like, it's
maybe
really funny.
I'll watch it with you.
If you watch it with me, I'll hold your hand.
All the lights are gonna be on. It's gonna be at 2 in the afternoon.
Yes.
And I'm gonna have snacks.
To me personally, this one isn't all that scary. It's honestly more impressive than anything.
Oh well, that's good.
I find it to be.
I mean, I've watched like a handful of like scary movies that I wouldn't have otherwise because they had some kind of costuming or like some kind of like monster or something that I was like interested in checking out, or some kind of like film effect or whatever. So you know. I might cave. I might cave and watch it. Maybe knowing what's gonna happen is gonna help me get through it.
That definitely does help.
I just love looking at my DMs. I've got like
I deleted them for you,
and then just
and blood and horror. My 2 spectrums.
It's like, wow, damn.
That's what I'm all about. Wild. BL.
I'm just gonna slide back into those DMs like a week from now and be like, what the fuck? What were we talking about?
I'll leave those, but I got rid of like the more visceral stuff for you.
Thank you for getting rid of that creepy little little thing.
Yeah. I didn't want you to like pop in late for the sugar plum fairy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the SCP. Yeah. I didn't want you popping in later and then being like, oh.
Jump scare.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But no, I love it. I love all of that, and I love hearing you excited to talk about those things.
Thank you. It's my passion.
I just love you. Period.
I love you. Period.
My wife.
My beautiful wife. So sorry, anybody. We went on a huge tangent. I have like topic notes and bullet points in front of me right now. And I was like, we got through a couple of them, but then I went completely off the rails.
Oh no. Well, let's bring it back. Let's pick a couple that were really important for you to go over, and we can go over those.
Okay. First of all, though, I just wanted to make sure that do you have a time limit or anything like that?
Let's see. So we've been streaming for it's been a little over 2 hours. So I am slowly tapping out. I don't think I have another hour in me, but yeah, I would pick your favorites first.
Okay. The other one is that, let's see. Okay, we did. I wanted to talk to you about Mare so bad. I'm so glad we did. Because I was making sure.
Like, cross that one off the list.
Because
Check.
I was like, if anybody knows this, she has to know it.
Yeah, I know it. I got it.
And then
I
we
got
talked
you.
about, it was a manga was the other one. And I was like, notable. Oh, yes. It was notable things in like older media that was like, that you find specifically charming and stuff like that. So the other thing was that Hypertiller and Natsu interview part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Listen, if you're also unfamiliar with who I am, I half the time I'll stream for like 7-8 hours. So this is
Teller's got the stamina. I'm like, oh damn.
I just be sitting here
playing for 8-9 hours. I'm like, oh god, I don't have it in me. I'm like, man, right after that 3-hour point, it's got to be something. I'm like, I don't know. I have to have a full meal and the adrenaline to get through it.
I just like talking with my friends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that it's been flying by.
Yeah.
I was like, when you asked how much longer, I was like, well, how long has it been? And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, it's felt like less time than that, but that's okay.
I just like I like talking, I like yapping.
We're just chilling. We're just having a good time. And I think it seems like some people just have us in the background, so too.
Good.
So thanks for hanging out. I'm seeing everybody in chat, and I see the watch number there. I'm like, well, y'all still here? Cool.
3 hours is your cap. That 3 hours is a lot of people's cap. Don't worry, 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm a movie length streamer, you know.
Yeah, I'm consistently usually like my minimum is usually typically 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, but also like your content, right? The stuff that you're playing is very plot heavy, and you know you get into the story and stuff. So I guess it all depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, because to me personally, I feel wonderful to listen while I'm at work. I'm glad.
Oh, you're at work and watching streams? Dang.
I do it all the time. I have a job, luckily, where I put on streams in the background and I can just do whatever.
Dang, if they caught me doing that at the office, whew.
Yeah, for real.
They'd tack on even more overtime. They're like, we're cutting your holiday pay, Natsu. I'm like,
oh, come on.
I just wanted to see the streamer. Shit.
Yeah.
My life is over.
But since a lot of my stuff is story content, I feel like I want to hit certain parts so it feels like it was like, I guess, worth it.
Yeah. Well, and you're like that you're wrapping up at a good time, or that you've been building up this whole time. You want to like ride that, you know? I get it.
I would just hate to like cut in the middle of something or have it or feel like it kind of falls flat. Like we do, maybe like we get 1 or 2 bits of information that ended up taking much longer than I expected, and it's like, well, technically nothing really happened. We did learn a lot, but like nothing happened
too, right?
Yeah,
everyone loves the cliffhanger, so you can always like right when it starts to get big, like, all right guys, it's been 12 hours and we've been waiting for this. We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why. And also sometimes it's just like especially when I'm playing Okami, I'm like, you don't understand, I can literally play this game forever.
Dang, yeah, for sure. That's why I'm like, I know you're gonna play that new game plus stuff. You have to, because you're gonna unlock all the skins.
I know.
They still do that? They did it for the one I played.
I'll see if they do it for this one.
I hope so. I don't know which version.
I don't know. I have it on Steam right now, so I'm playing it on PC, but I'm playing it with a controller on PC.
I hope you get the new game plus stuff. I remember I was following a guide. Now one of those internet guides, not like a strategy guide or a book like I'm used to. But I was following one of those because I knew for sure that I wanted to get every stray bead, because I remember in the new game plus, when you play the game again, you can be still Amaterasu, but like she looks like one of the other dogs. So you can be like Amaterasu as like a boxer, Amaterasu as like an Irish setter or whatever. You just like run around and it's like, oh, it's so cute. It's so cool. I love it.
I love it. But yeah, we'll see. Because I don't know. I know what they had for the Wii, but I don't know what they have for this one. But yeah,
we'll
I mean, to be fair though, once we finish up Okami for this one, then it's like, that's it. You did it. And then I do.
But like, you'd be streaming for a long time. You might want to come back like
maybe
2 years and be like, hey guys, we're fucking back.
Oh, guess what? That's what Okami 2 is for.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
But anyway, it was my particular thought was like what attracts you to these older styles. We kind of talked about it originally, and I know personally for me, I especially just love the designs of the women.
Right?
Because
so beautiful.
So beautiful. That's why I like looking at you.
I'm looking at you respectfully and disrespectfully, if you so wish.
I'm no better than a man.
Oh my God.
It was
the characters are great. The designs are just fucking gold. I love it.
If you look at like Great Teacher Onizuka, and I'm just like, all the women in there are so hot.
I love it.
So and then anytime I watch Black Lagoon, oh my God, Miss Balalaika.
Okay, I haven't watched it, but I've seen. I know. I have to, but I know already who you're talking about.
I love Balalaika. God, she's so hot.
She's so good. She's so good.
Hot. I love her so much.
Oh my God.
Speaking of, that's my favorite type of characters is all Black Lagoon, because I'm like, yeah, I want my women batshit fucking crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah,
I love it.
Oh my God. I love it. I love those old characters. You know, for me, it's all about the feeling, right? So it's obviously bringing me back to, you know, just a different time in my life, a good time, you know? So I just love all those feelings associated with those old stories, old character designs, old, like, you know, all of that. But for me, it's like, now there have been some exceptions, you know, but like the old character designs where they weren't afraid to make things silly, right? They exaggerated, you know? They have bright colors. They have something that just does not make sense. You're like, why is this here? Why do they need it? It doesn't matter. It looks cool. And that was enough, you know? And it's just so charming. It's so charming to me. Just the bright colors, the bangs for days, you know? The bangs that go up first and then come down.
Big puffy hair. I loved it.
Right. I just love it. The
Kagome, the Kurama, the like.
Oh, for sure.
So good.
Oh my God. Yeah, I love all of that. And those old stories, those old characters, they just like, they weren't afraid to have fun, you know? They're like, let's just get silly with it. And there's nothing wrong with like taking things seriously. You know, I like a good like serious story that doesn't have all of those things. But like the ones that stand out the most to me are the ones that just had fun. They just had fun with it. And I don't know. I just appreciate little things like that. You know, with Hoshinage, we talked about a little bit before, like the big hands, the big feet, you know. But like Saber Marionette J is exactly like that, you know. She's got like, Lime has this bandana on and this giant red ball just like in her hair, like on the bandana. It's like an ornament. You're like, what is this? Is it holding the bandana on? Is it a pin? Is it a, you know, like what? We don't know. We don't know what it is, but it's fun and it looks cool and we love it. We just love it. And I just love that they're actually there's a bit of a resurgence recently with Saber Marionette J, which I'm fucking excited about. They came out with like an Android, and they're coming out with a pop-up parade, and they're really keeping that like essence of the old style in like the sculpture and the painting of it, you know, and the hair's whipping around and making crazy angles, you know, like I can't imagine how hard that was to animate by hand back in the day, you know. It's just crazy. But then you get things that are like, you know, a bit more serious. Like we were talking about RPGs and stuff a little bit before, and I can't believe I didn't mention this one, but like there's a series called Lunar Silver Star Story, and they have a sequel to that called Eternal Blue. Things like Xenogears, all of these characters, they've got some really like exaggerated styles, sure, but like the stories are so deep, they can be so serious, and they're so touching, and like there's just so many layers to them. I don't know, just all of those things just made such a strong impact on me, like when I was growing up and when I was becoming the person that I am today, and they've just like influenced me in like just so many ways, not just like you know, the aesthetics of it all, yeah, cool, but like, of course, but like, I mean, just me as a person and the, you know, what the characters mean to me and those art styles and the feelings that they evoke. I'm just like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like those characters and those stories have just like shaped who I am, who I want to be, and the things that are important to me. And I think everyone's got that about something.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? And for me, it was just that retro style. I never grew out of it, and I never will. So
just so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
The other thing was I don't know if you could probably tell this about me. This is gonna come as a absolutely a surprise to everybody. I'm sure.
Lay it on me.
I really loved Record of Lodoss War.
Well, I had no idea.
No, crazy. Oh, gee,
That's so wild. Wow.
I wonder why.
Those long elf ears with the light color hair. I have no idea.
Crazy to everybody. Hold on, let me make my ears wiggle.
Please. Oh, so cute. Oh.
I can't do it on command in the way that she does.
Like your mouth, yeah.
Yeah. But I can make them wiggle.
I love it. Well, they do move around a little bit. Just
yeah,
as
they bounce. Yeah, which is really cute, right? I love it. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite. It's just
well, yeah, I love the long elf ears like that. And in the in the 90s, like early 2000s, anytime they had like the long elf ears like that, not anytime, but like sometimes they would like point them down and make them all droopy too, and I was like, oh, it's so cute, you know. I just I love it. I love the designs
like that. Hold on.
Oh, you cut out for a second.
Oh, I was making a face.
Oh, I see.
If you can see it.
I can now. Yeah, it's a little delayed. It's a little delayed on my end. Very cute.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it just got like super quiet. I was like, "Oh fuck, are we
no,
still
you're
live?
good." I have to make like a really intense face to be able to droop my ears like all the way down. So I have to like really mush my mouth. But it's been a hot fucking minute though since I saw Lodoss War. So a lot of my memory is super vague, and that's why I love going back and revisiting some of these things.
Oh,
because my memory, hey, if you know me from debut, I have a lot of problems with my memory. I'm the same way. I'm very forgetful. I know. I remember like liking certain things, yes,
and feeling very
100%.
strongly about certain things.
I feel strongly about this, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, but I forget that. I forget the specifics, which is actually perfect because when I go back and relive it, there's a lot of those like initial feelings, they kind of come rushing back, and I'm like, oh yeah,
yes,
and I get to and
you're like,
someone's like, haven't you seen this before? Yeah, they're like, aren't you obsessed with this? Isn't this your favorite anime?
Yeah,
I was like,
haven't you seen this?
How we got here.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, but I didn't remember it was this part. I just remembered that. I was like, I kind of remembered it, and now that we're here, I'm like, oh yes.
Yes, it's so good that we get to like kind of relive that. I get to experience it with other people too, which is great. So,
have you seen a short series called Ruin Explorers? If not, high recommendation. I have not.
Have you?
I'll look at it.
No, I know of it. I've seen clips of it. Cool. Yeah, it was one of those like the trailer popped up on my DVDs. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or like a VHS trailer teaser, whatever. But I know of it. They're very cute. There's a girl that turns into a mouse when she uses magic. And there's a silly knight who keeps lying about the amount of people that he's killed, and the number gets higher and higher throughout. It's pretty good. Yeah, so I do want to watch it. But the animation is incredible, and those are like the 90s to 90s character designs.
Yeah.
Like everything that we've been talking about, that's them.
Yeah, and so I sent you a thing in Discord about for the main elf, because it's just like looking whenever they have like this style of art and this era, I'm just so obsessed with it.
The fucking teeth and the on the dragon.
It's so
God,
cool
how
how they did this image. If you want, I can probably share this in your Discord if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It's weird because this must be deedlit. I'm trying to remember because there's some other elves in the series as well. It's been a little while since I've seen it. This has got to be her with the blonde hair there.
Yeah.
But you know, they always like would take the characters and make they would do like extra art of them, like art that doesn't appear in the, you know, but just like concept stuff or like just like promo things, and it was just like it was really impressive.
Yeah,
Lotus has so much beautiful artwork.
Yeah, and then the other, I don't remember her name either, but there was another elf that was the dark skin, long, bright hair.
Let me see. I always forget. She was with Ashram.
Yeah, it's been so long that I can't remember their names. But it was like for both of them though, it's the long lashes, it's the long ears, beautiful
Is this her
hair.
here?
Love her.
Pyrotess, Pirotess. Maybe that's her. But let's see.
But yeah, Deedlit, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
was
that's
the
her.
blonde
That's
one.
her.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. Fuck.
And it's so she's so pretty.
I know, right? Oh my god,
I lose
beautiful.
it. I love this. I love this art so much. I'll put it in. I don't know. Is this NSFW? Kinda. Her titties are a little out.
I think she's good.
She's good. Okay.
I think she's good.
Okay.
We ain't afraid of cleavage in my channel. Look at me.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine, but just in case, I'm just
fine.
like,
You
I
can
don't know.
always spoiler it too and just be like,
Yeah,
melons.
sure.
Melons, spoiler.
Y'all be
But yeah.
fine. I believe in y'all. I just throw it in your art channel. But this is what we're talking about, chat.
They're gonna know.
About how, because the way I just admire so deeply, yes, Castlevania, yes, very much.
Wonder Labyrinth, yeah.
And the because I don't know how to describe it other than like maybe it's the saturation of it all, just the way that the colors are used in this older style.
Yes,
and
yeah.
just like how I don't know, how kind of like that grain, that effect, that texture. It's all texture.
Yeah, it's so authentic. And
Love
like
it
actually
so
what's really
much.
cool is I'm a big art collector. So if I can commission you and if I got the funds, you're getting commissioned. I got a list.
Thank
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Help us,
You're
poor
on it.
artist in need.
So I love that. So there are some retro artists who I've been commissioning, and they give me alternate artworks. So they'll give me the standard art that they did, right? Their digital art, whatever it is, and then they also give me an alternate option with a filter on it to make it look like old school. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like they just get it, you know? So
Absolutely.
it's just like, I don't know. I love it.
I feel like everybody, every one of us who are into like 90s or 80s anime art style and stuff like that, we're all just like shaking each other's hand. Like we know exactly what we're looking for.
We're all shaking each other's hands. We're doing the secret handshake. We're all locking eyes across the room. Yep, we get it. That's it. That's why, like, during your debut and stuff, you were like mentioning like a certain anime, and I just I went back and watched it, and I was just like, oh my god, yeah. You know, like I was just losing it. We just get it, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Like Yami no Matsue.
Oh man, Yu Hakusho too.
Yu
God.
Hakusho.
We didn't really like get into in depth with Yu Hakusho, but like everyone just.
But
watch
I can
it.
talk
It's
all
fucking
day.
amazing.
Just watch it. Just watch it in general. I can talk all day about how much I love it.
Right, and earlier in chat, someone like mentioned the Hunter x Hunter guy taking breaks and stuff. That's the same dude.
Same person, yeah.
Same dude, and he married like Sailor Moon creator. The Sailor Moon creator. I was like, holy fucking power couple. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
God. Speaking of people that just get it, people that get each other.
I love Togashi's style so much.
Oh man, so good.
But yeah, it would I love it. But also I think Hunter x Hunter is a great example too of like you have the original 90s version, and then the updated version is also phenomenal.
I didn't watch the updated one. I didn't watch it yet. Good. But I did watch the original. We got pretty into it.
But yes, I will say though, however, there are some things that the original has that the newer one doesn't. Yes, he made Yu Hakusho, yeah. Please, by all means, finish it. It's really good.
He made Yu Hakusho, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It would be the What was it? Oh, right. So in the original, there was something so, like, don't get me wrong, I love the remake so much, but specifically talking about the fight between Kurapika and Uvogin, in the 90s version, the sequence of like the eye, there was a part where his like eye, the kurta, you know, with being red and everything, melting into like the red moon, and then it's like you can see like the blood that kind of like dripped down to like emulate tears.
Yeah,
that
it was all like very artistic.
Yeah, it was beautiful sequence, and that wasn't in the remake. But they had another, it wasn't like the same kind of scene, but they have another still very profound moment in relation to that as well. But just that artistry in the 90s, I loved it.
It's
I loved
crazy.
it so
it's incredible.
much. It was so what is it, like I wouldn't call it like high concept, but it was just like the artistic choices were really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to do that. They could just tell it, you know, exactly what happens, but they got like very creative with it and just added like some element to it that like just gives it some depth for sure.
Yeah, I loved it.
Put some heart in it, you know.
Okay, and then on another, cool. Let's see, do I have anything else? The other, that was the more important one, is what drawed us to nostalgia.
We've been talking about nostalgia and passions this whole stream. I'm all about it.
I plan to. It's a you-centered stream, so that was my goal.
Because I did watch the rally. I did watch rallies with you, and
we talked about idols.
And y'all were doing like idol culture and all stuff. I'm like, oh, this is so interesting. It's so awesome. I just like, I don't know. I love the talks with Teller. They're all a little bit different. It's so cool.
I make sure to cater everything to my guest.
You're so sweet.
When I had Agent on, we talked a lot specifically about VTubing, because us both being invested in this culture and everything, and then also Agent being a VTuber for much longer than I have. So we
Agent's so good.
Agent's so lovely and so
good.
Funny to have. And we talked a lot. That was okay. Yes, that was one more thing I'll talk to you about before I let you go. Is how has your journey in VTubing been?
Oh my God.
It just started, but you know.
It just started. It's incredible. It's been such an amazing experience. I've actually been like planning to do this for a really long time. I've been, well, I don't want to say planning. I've been wanting to do this for a very, very, very long time. And then the idea of like, I would watch VTubers and I'd be like, wow, that sounds cool. And then I was like, distant dream, could never happen for me, you know? But then I started having some friends in my group doing it, making it happen. I'm like, this is real. You're real. It's possible.
We're doing it. Yeah,
it's crazy. You know, like it sounds so like strange, but it seemed unreachable. Like it seemed like something that
I understand.
That other people did that I never could do. But then some friends around me were just like making it happen. I was like, holy shit. And then they just like really inspired me to like just try it, you know? And I was like, maybe this is something I could do. So then I started the planning, and I was like, you know what? I'm really excited. Everyone's like encouraging me, and I need another like kind of creative outlet. So I was like, let's just try. So like, you know, I was bouncing some character concepts and designs and stuff like that around, just trying this, trying that. And then like when it clicked, and it all just came together, and I was like, this is perfect, because I needed something that was very authentically me. Some things that I would be interested in, something that would keep my drive going, something that like, you know, that I was passionate about, you know. And the most amazing thing that's happened so far, and I'm never gonna get over it really, it's just the community that's like developed, because in the past, you know, it's like when I would share something or show something to somebody, you know, it's like they didn't really know what it was, and I was happy to share, and you know, I had a lot of friends that were like, oh, that's really cool, they were really interested, but they didn't have the same memories and experiences that I did, you know. And of course everyone's are different, and that's totally fine, but there's something special about just being like, hey, does anyone remember this thing? and then to have a bunch of people being like, oh my god, yeah. It's just like, it's a feeling that I can't describe, and that I honestly, like, I haven't had a lot. But since doing this, so many people have just been like coming up and just like having similar experiences, or theirs are similar but not quite the same, so they share their side of it. And it's been just so fun. It's just been incredible. I've met like just so many amazing people, so many amazing artists and stuff like that. And it's just everyone coming together and just like sharing their personal experiences at that time in their life, you know. And sometimes they cross over, and sometimes they're the same, and sometimes they're different. And when they're different, I get to learn about something that something new that I didn't play or that I didn't get to watch. So it's like, I don't know, it's just been this like really awesome community coming together. But like not just like the retro loving community, but like the VTubing community as well. It's been crazy. It's been so awesome. I mean, just hanging out with you right now, doing your game show. We've got some like collabs and stuff going on. It's like just these experiences that like I'd never thought I'd have.
You're so funny, and you were like, I'm not gonna win.
The whole time I was like, okay, because I figured, I was like, okay, you know, we're gonna be asking some like questions I'm not gonna know how to answer, and a lot of them were luck. A lot of my points were luck.
It's true.
I guessed. So I got really lucky there. But like, you know, never would I have imagined doing something like that, and it's just been incredible and so fun, and everyone's been so just like welcoming and excited, and we're just like having the fucking best time. It's so good.
Yeah, you managed to build such a beautiful little community so quickly. I love that for you.
It's so crazy. I don't know how it happened. Everyone's just like really passionate about retro shit.
Honestly, you're also really good. You're also really good about getting your shit out there, because I'm so bad at it. Well, okay, it's not that I'm. Hold on. Wait, 1 sec. It's not that I'm bad at it. It's that I'm tired.
Well, here's the difference, Tyler. You're streaming for fucking like 9 hours. If I was doing those streams, man, I would not have the energy.
Thank you.
But I just like I
thank you. Appreciate
so much,
it, Nightwolf.
Yeah, you were amazing. You were amazing. So awesome. But like, yeah, it's just been I put so much time and energy into the debut, and I was just like, I honestly like wasn't planning on like going as hard as I did, I guess I could say. I was just gonna tell everyone my story, and then I was like, yeah, but like, what if I commissioned an artist for it? And then I was only gonna have like, you know, one piece of fan art, and I was like, oh, but I really want to commission this person. What if I just let's just do it, you know? So I ended up doing it. Like, I wasn't even gonna have a Discord at the beginning, and then someone was like, hey, you should have it, and I was like, yeah, okay. So I just did it. So I just tried all these new things. I did sign up for Reddit at one point, and then I was like, I'm so confused. I don't know how to post or search. And I backed out. I chickened out. But
I'm just a different world, though. I wouldn't worry about that.
And same thing with Twitch. Twitch scared me. I went in. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I was like, there's too many options. I'm so confused. I'm very overwhelmed. But I'm glad I have Twitch, because I've got like any of my friends that stream over on Twitch now. I know that I can go in. I know how to interact. I learned how to do their little hydrate when you click your little redeems, I don't know the terms for anything, but I'm figuring it out. But I don't know, it's just been like the coolest, like just most fun, like creative outlet. I'm like, I don't know, let's try it. Let's try this. Did I do this? Let's try that. You know. But I think I just got super excited, like commissioning the artwork.
Oh my god,
that like the artists' friends are sharing their art with other people, and then that person also likes retro art, so I find out about a new artist and I commission them, and then that person told their friend, and then both of them are in the Discord, you know. So honestly, it's just been like, I don't know, it's just been this like crazy awesome cool experience of just, I keep saying like I found my people, you know, like I'm gonna say it a million times. It's just like the coolest feeling to have all these people around, around my age, I guess. You know, but if not, like even like some older people or some younger people that you know, are seeing some of this stuff for the first time, and they're just like vibing with it, and that's really cool. I love being able to introduce some of this stuff to people who have not really been in this world yet. So it's just the perfect little combination of everything. It's just been incredible, and I hope we can can continue to grow. But if not, that's fine, because I've established yeah, I'm just vibing. I'm just like having the best time ever, and I've made like so many like just awesome connections with people. So I'm just living.
Yeah, in my million years of existence, and in all my travels in the way back whens, my whole point as the storyteller and as a personal orator was to, before I got not to make this a little bit about me, but before I got
make it about you. I saw that lore video. It was fucking awesome.
Thank you. I worked really hard on that.
So good.
Before I got my abilities that ended up making personal contact difficult for me, my whole point was to share the human experience and being able to talk. Stories have a profound impact on people, no matter what kind it is, whether you're narrating historical events, whether you're narrating like real things, or whether you're getting into mythology, or sometimes mythology and history sometimes go hand in hand. And being able to share these has always persisted through time, that I have noticed. Because even now we are still having these connections through stories and through, that's why I really do love media of today, because even though the internet is a blessing and a curse,
yes, definitely,
truly a blessing and a curse, sometimes leading more towards a curse, but but that's why I love stories so much, is because they are sometimes the biggest binding factor in a community. The things that we love being shared with each other brings us together so much. And not to be like super sappy about it, but that's like
sappy. It's so sweet,
so incredibly important to like,
it's so important
having something that you can like, having another person that you can confide in for something that brings you such joy, or something that brings you passion, is so important. And I'm glad you have cultivated a community around that pure joy.
Me too. I'm so happy. And then I get to hear I get to hear other people's stories too. And I mean, you telling me about that like little like orb that you had, and it broke, so you turned the dragon into a necklace. Like, I'm never gonna forget that ever. Like, you know what I mean? It's so sweet. Like, it's all about that feeling, you know. And I can tell how like genuine and excited you were to like share that. And that's it's all about that feeling. So hopefully in my streaming journey I can continue to share my stories with others, and I want to hear their stories about growing up, and you know, and I hope I can keep these retro stories, these retro games and stuff alive with and get people excited about them too in the process. So.
And that's my other job as the storyteller, is that once I give these stories or provide them, then I want the others. That's the whole point of narration and a job as an orator. Yes. It was like there was a specific word I was looking for, but it's not coming.
Yeah, I was like, is orating a word? I just made it up.
Yeah, not technically, no, but
okay.
Because otherwise,
don't put that in my story. Don't embarrass me.
But that's my job. Is that it's like, once I share these things to people, then that's now their job to go share them with others, and obviously out of no obligation, but it's just out of joy and out of the want to share with another.
Right, 100%.
And that's why, so everyone in chat, that's what I give to you. Everything that you learn, or that I impart on you, or that you learn from me, I hope you can share with another person. Everything that
Chad, have you learned anything today from our hangouts?
You learned that we like titties.
Titties. They got big personalities.
Beautiful personalities. 2 beautiful personalities.
Oh my goodness.
And so anything that you learn from Natsu as well, or that you learn from each other, I hope you can bring that forth into others and share joy. Just please
spread that joy. Please
share joy. That's all I ask. Joy and whimsy.
Yeah, joy and whimsy. Keep your passion strong.
Even if it's a story that's particularly like I would say either difficult or sad or hard to watch or something like that, then that's also a visceral emotion that you like experienced together, you know?
Yeah, and that's part of your story and who and how you are yourself, you know, and it shapes you as a person, and that's important too.
Yeah. It's whatever, laugh, cry, have fun together. That's all I ask. I did just find another VTuber to follow here. That's so nice. Whether you mean that for me or for Natsu, that's very nice.
Brandon, he's one of the artists that I've commissioned. So
fantastic.
He's joining the Teller crew.
If I had the money, the amount of art that I would be asking people for, because I just don't have time to do a lot of art for myself. So if I had the funds for it, I'd be cranking out so many.
And on the flip side, I'm like, if I could draw like you, I'd be drawing stuff of myself. I can't do that.
I just don't have time.
So I will support the artists on your behalf.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, who doesn't love titties, crazy people? That's so true. No matter who they're on, they're my favorite. We were talking, we kind of like look at, it was Tokorambu men.
Oh my god, Tokorambu. Speaking of titties, there's some good sword boys.
Oh yeah.
Like it. I'm a fan.
Well, I will let you go, so I won't keep you for too long.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I had such an amazing time. I mean, I knew I was gonna have a good time anyway, because we're just hanging out and shooting the shit. But but it was also like, it was full of laughs. It was we had some important discussions, and we talked about all the things that are important to us, and we just like got sappy at the end, and we ended off with titties. Yeah. So we brought it full circle.
As is my nature. If I don't end it with BL or titties, then there is no Teller stream.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it so much. Well, thank you so much for having me. I had such a good time. We streamed a little longer than I'm used to, but it was worth it, and I had a wonderful
Are you
time.
Okay?
I'm gonna be all right. I might have that mojito. And then
please do.
then maybe I'll have a little nap. But but I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming another game that no one knows about. It's called Space Station Silicon Valley, and it should be a good time. So hopefully you can pop in.
I stream tomorrow too.
Oh my god! I wish I had the ability to like raid.
I know I don't have raids either.
We're gonna lock it, and we're gonna just be passing each other back and forth.
Yeah, I wish. And then we also pass to Relly, who is up at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, for sure. I'm streaming that late.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. Relly mentioned it in a stream recently, real quick. But I also found it to be so funny in the way that you talk to Chad.
Oh no, I'm being bullied.
Relly said this too about how you're like playing Kirby, and then you're like, pause. Okay, I gotta look at chat. Okay.
Doing my best.
It's so funny.
I'm hoping it's gonna be a very endearing quirk, but honestly, I can't fucking.
You can't do both. I see. Okay. maybe one day you'll start to learn.
Dude, I'm lucky if I pause. Sometimes I just keep the game running. There were so many times where I would die, and I'm like, guys, what the hell just happened? They're like, there's a fucking timer.
Look at the timer.
Like, hello?
Yes,
crazy.
Very new streamer vibes. Yes.
Oh my god, I'm trying my best. They're just like, I'm not as good as Teller. I can't. I'm just like, Teller, I'm telling you,
I think it's just your setup. I swear to God, I think it's just your setup, because the way that I have it, I can see like my game and I can see chat easy without like, it's not, sometimes if I'll like lock the fuck into whatever I'm playing. Most of the time, since it's like visual novels, it's very easy for me to look at chat and see what's going on. But if I'm playing Okami and I'm in the middle of a fight, even then, it's still not too hard for me to like glance over to the side and look at it. But not that I'm ragging on you or anything. I'm just saying, I think it might just be your setup.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting better, but if I don't, then I don't. I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm not like, I'm not dissing you or anything. I just think it's so cute.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna keep doing my best.
Yes,
That's all I can do.
It's just so cute. Me and really.
I started to have my tablet. I started to have my tablet
and then
in front of me to help. But I do have dual monitors, and maybe they're just like too far apart. Because at one point I was like turning to look at the game and then turning to look at chat, like in a separate area. But yeah,
I promise. I kind of don't want you to change. I love it. I think it's so funny. It's so cute.
I will try. I will try to improve, but
you're so sincere. You're just like, hold on, pause.
Because like also like I want to talk with everybody. I don't want to just play the game and just be like, you know, missing everything.
See,
so
that's
I try
the
to
thing.
Interact the best I can.
Yeah, that's the thing about me. Sometimes I'm just like, y'all talk to each other. I'm playing. But no, I understand. I don't want to like make people feel like they're excluded or anything like that. But I'm very easy about being like, everybody shut up. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm literally just like, all right, hold on, let me catch up with chat. Pause.
Yeah,
or don't pause. And then I'm just like, and I scroll back. It's not even on the screen anymore. So people are like, what the fuck is she even talking about?
Yeah, but it's so, I think it's so cute and endearing how you feel like that. You just like, you have to talk to everybody.
Thanks, Cal. Thanks, Cal. I appreciate it.
It's really cute. It's really sweet. And that's how you feel very connected to your community, because you're somebody,
I guess so.
Yeah, you're somebody who's like, but no, I want everybody to make sure that they're included. And that's nice. That's really nice. I like that.
Oh my god. Well, if it grows, if the community grows and the chat goes like super fast,
yeah,
they'll know.
I'm gonna think about
they'll know where I came from, my roots.
Yes, I know. I hope when that day comes and you have a chat that
I love you.
Yeah, when of course, girly.
It is my dream to be a full-time VTuber, so hopefully
when that day comes,
you know,
and you have a chat that's like going by the thousands, and there's physically impossible for you to address them all. I want to stress this on you. Please don't feel bad about it.
Well, I might anyway.
I know you'll feel a little bad about it, but I promise you it's okay.
Oh my god. Well, I'm so glad everybody understands, and I will have. I know I'm gonna have those people that were there. Like they're like, I was there.
Yes,
I was there when she used to pause.
She used to pause the game.
Yeah. They'll see how much I've improved.
YouTube does have slow mode. Mine is on slow mode right now, but not by a whole lot. But yes, there is slow mode, but even then, it can still fucking go.
Man, some of the streamers I've watched, I've seen it. I'm just like, whoa, and that's why like they only respond to like the super chats or whatever that pop up, and I'm like, I totally understand.
Yeah, it's physically impossible to like address all the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
First we need to get Natsu to 500 so we can get her to say ara ara. Is that one of your goals?
They've been trying to get me to say it. I said, guys, I can't whip out all my secret weapons. God, I've been streaming for a week.
I do. I have fun with it. Okay.
Well, when we get to 500, I can finally do the raids and stuff too. So yeah. I think it's at 500. We'll see.
I think so. I think that's what Relly said hers was.
Well, that's the next goal. We'll see.
Yeah. My goal was 100 and we made it. And congratulations, everyone. You got a Discord now because I didn't have one before. But on top of that, there were also Natsu's Discord is also in my description as well as my own.
Thanks.
You can jump into both, either or, whatever you would like if you're not already in them.
Yeah, and tell her some mods so she's gonna kick your ass out if you're inappropriate.
I will whenever I pop in. I'm a lazy mod, but I'll be watching. I'm always watching. Always. But yeah, and so with that though, thank you everybody so much for coming, and for all of you that are on my side of things, thank you for meeting Natsu today and loving her as much as I do, which is actually impossible because you'll never love her as much as I do.
Impossible.
Impossible.
You can try though. my gosh. Well, thank you so much for having me on here. I had so much fun.
I'm so glad you joined me.
And I lost track of time a little bit, but that's okay.
That's what
my
I'm here
island
for.
chores will wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, we gotta I'll get you back to your island. It might take a little bit. We gotta calibrate. But I'm pretty sure.
Can I just spend the night here? You can drop me off in the morning.
Yeah, that works.
The island, it can get a little cold at night. So.
I do have lodgings here actually.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I'll stay the night here. Just bring me back in the morning.
Okay, we'll do.
But we'll hang out again soon.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
For whatever journeys that all of you impart on chat, and for like Natsu likes to say sometimes, you can be anywhere on the internet. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
All right, so we're gonna head off. Appreciate you all again, and thank you so much for joining me, Natsu.
Thanks for having me. Hypest kiss.
Hypest kiss. Mwah.
Right, thank you so much.
All right, bye guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.